Welcome back to All About Arsenal, and today we are going to have our Premier League Game Week 7 review. As always, we start with a couple of panelists that are going to be joining us to give us their expert reviews on the games that have been played so far. And making his debut on the channel, we have Babajide. Welcome, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, drum roll, drum roll.
Yeah, and from a new debutant to an OG of the channel, Uche Moore. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Fantastic. Like I wish I
Nice
could
to
find
see
the
you,
mount. I
Uche.
wish I could find the mountain top right now. I'll be there.
What a
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah. So we have two other panelists that are going to join us, but as always, we have to keep to our usual time because of our folks that are already on the chat. So good to have you all there. Welcome back to another game week review. We do this every Sunday by 8 o'clock, where we review all the Premier League games that have been played, give our honest opinions about them, and progress from there. And as always, our agenda remains the same. Welcome, Mr. Coco. Thanks for making your debut on the channel.
Yeah,
So,
welcome, people.
Thank you, guys.
yeah, awesome. So we're going to go. Yeah, we greet you too, brother. So we're going to go through our schedule.
Salute.
I'm getting like echo. Is it from your end, Coco? Okay, I think we're good now. Yes. So we're going to go through our game week 1 review, where we talk about the Arsenal match review first. Then we look at our title rivals to see how they panned out in their games. And of course, look at other key fixtures, our surprise of the week. We take a look at the injury watch, the players of the week, the Premier League table update, and of course, the plans for game week 8. But before I go into this, let's just quickly touch on game week 7. How was the H watch for Arsenal fans last week? Man United lost, Manchester, Chelsea lost, Liverpool lost, and we're like, whoa. But going into this week, a whole lot has changed. So let's just go into it without further ado, and we'll start as always with the Arsenal match review. Funny enough, we have 3 Arsenal fans here, so this is going to be a section where we are all going to cook real good. So I will start with you. Yes, but I'll start with you, Babajide. What was your take on the selection when we saw that Iberici, Eze, and Odegaard were going to play through the middle?
Okay, firstly, we're on top of the league. I have to put that down steps before we even start.
Yeah,
I
preach,
love to
preach, preach,
celebrate. We are top of the league. Yeah.
preach.
Celebrate your wins. Yeah, let's move on. So I was a little bit, let me say, when I saw the lineup, I was like, okay, finally, the fans are forced Arteta to go gongo because I just thought everything looked like all the X factors were on board. Surprise attack left and right, on board, Odegaard on board, Saka on board. For me, I won't criticize Arteta if he wants to hold back one of those X factors on the bench because you need differentiators on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, what do I know? I'm not the gaffer. And the game as went smoothly as planned. I don't think we were really under any pressure from West Ham.
Yeah.
The match was very personal to me because the first time I went to the Emirates physically, I think that was the last match. We lost. West Ham has been like this voodoo team for us at the Emirates. I think we've lost the last 2 to them. So that was my first showing in Emirates, and we lost. I said, no, today we will not. So, but we're in total control. I don't think they even registered any shot at goal.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't think so. I can't remember. Then talking about the X factors, Zubi came in. Zubi came in from the bench and changed the whole game, the structure of the game with those incisive passes that's got West Ham looking behind like they're at the bus stop. So hey, good game, 3 points. We're on top of the league. We move.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Coco, let me go with you on this one. What was your take on yet another injury to Martin Odegaard? Welcome, Achike.
Oh, well.
Hello, gents.
Oh, it's a beautiful
Hi,
time for
Chike.
Achike to join us. Achike, welcome.
Welcome,
I
guys.
mean, I'm sure you're used to the pressure. coming up against Arsenal fans these days. It must be. It, must,
He's the only
it could even.
non-Arsenal fan here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So welcome, welcome. I hope don't feel too much, too much pressure. Uh, it's good, So yeah. So back to what you posed to me, Enigma.
Mhm.
I mean, Odegaard. Thankfully, we've had a fantastic transfer season. I think maybe the best season I've experienced as an Arsenal fan. I mean, you know, it was very wholesome. So, Odegaard's injury was not as painful as we've had in recent times. I mean, as much as I winced because he looked like someone that came in good form. He looks lean. He
Mhm.
looks mean. Uh, he looks like the type of player that responds to competition.
Yeah.
Which we're glad. We're very happy to see. But um, I mean, everything is dampened down by the fact that we have the quality players with versatility. I mean, look at Zubimendi. He came in right after and more or less
Mhm.
controlled the flow of the game. Um, so I would like to. I mean, we're happy. I've never been as relaxed as an Arsenal fan as I have been in this season.
Yeah.
Seeing him go off injured and just praying that he gets well soon enough to come and join a vibrant team that has become what we are seeing at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Um, his injury, I mean, it's kind of it's a worry factor. I think I think he needs to take some time off. Yeah, I think they need to. I don't really know I've not checked on his injury history, but I don't know if it's a recurrence, if that knee is a niggling worry that has plagued him for the past few seasons. Because we know there's a season that he didn't really perform well and he was playing on that pain. I think that was last season.
Yeah,
Um,
that was an ankle injury.
that was ankle. Okay. These things just relate. If you play sports, you'll find out that uh, one injury can lead to the other.
Yeah.
Having to readjust your gait, your stance can put more pressure on another aspect of maybe your joints or ligaments. And who knows? I think he needs to take time out. Arsenal need to give him some time on the bed, really put him through the works, get him back fit so he can. He's no doubt a very attack-minded player naturally, and we could see in the previous games when he came back, we could see how much he meant to the Arsenal team. I mean, I know he has been given some stick, has been a physio god, but I mean, what was that they call it? Cardio god, yeah. But
Yeah.
Odegaard is a key factor in Arsenal's gameplay. He really, really is the next best thing. I think you would say if you put him with Zubimendi in the same bracket in terms of creativity,
Yeah.
and vision. But I mean, we are glad that Zubimendi came in. Last season we wouldn't have a Zubimendi coming in. In fact, I think that's just the factor. Our depth of our squad depth is, and the quality and the depth of our squad it really, really is really refreshing.
Mhm.
Given what we are seeing with the people that um, we should be challenging for the title against. I mean, Man City have their woes, and Liverpool, of course, we can see that everything is going wrong with them at the moment, which
Yeah.
is just luck turning the other side. Arsenal doesn't have to rely on luck. We have the pieces of the puzzle to come in and challenge for the title and other trophies. So yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Thank you so much. And I'm just thinking about the folks in the chat. Kelechi, welcome. You saying that Chike has begun to drink because he saw Arsenal fans. Okay, so Chike, let's talk West Ham a bit. They sacked Graham Potter and signed a new manager in Nuno Espirito Santo. Obviously, this was not a game we expected any much from him. But what's your take on the two games he has played so far? First, the draw against Everton and this loss to Arsenal. And after international break, he has Brentford at home. Where do you think West Ham might end up at the end of the campaign?
Ooh, I mean, it's too early to say. 7 games in, a lot can change. But I mean, from the 2 games, I mean, I didn't watch the Arsenal game yesterday in full. I just saw the extended highlights. But I watched the game on Monday. It was Monday, right? Against
Yeah, Monday
Everton
night.
in
Yes.
full. And there was a lot. I mean, is no. You know how his teams are going to play. They're going to play with wide wing, fast, quick wingers on the break. And if my only problem is they don't have a proper forward. I mean, Fulkrug, for all intents and purposes, he's more of a target man, point at the box guy. But if he could do with Chris Wood what he did with Nottingham Forest and Chris Wood last year,
Yeah.
then West Ham might have a shot. The thing you're always going to get from Nuno's teams, they're going to be quite solid, going to be able to soak up a little bit of pressure and then hit you quick. I mean, what's that guy they got from Leeds? Somerville.
Some of you,
His
yeah.
game on
Okay.
his game on Monday was the best game I've seen him play. The best game I've seen him play. Because
Yeah.
sorry, I can't. Hello.
No, go ahead. We can hear you.
No.
Okay, sorry,
Go
I
ahead,
was
we can
hearing
hear
echoes
you.
in my ear. I don't know if it was the demons of many Arsenal fans past. But I think Nuno is the kind of manager that, with that kind of squad and that kind of team, he could do quite well. If they maintain a fit squad, I mean, Jared Bowen definitely needs to be fit all through. If they
Yeah.
can maintain a fit squad and everything, under Nuno, I think they should be okay. I'm talking about higher bottom half. So I'm talking about the 13, 14s.
Okay.
I don't think there'll be relegation trouble. I think they got Nuno in early enough, and they
Yeah.
have enough tools that they should be all right.
Yeah, and it's also a January transfer window for him to bring his type of players as well. That makes sense. So we have Chris Eze in the chat. Welcome, Chris. He says, and West Ham will be safe under Nuno. So Uche, let me go to you on this one. First of all, would you agree with me that that Timbers foul was not a penalty? That's first question. And second question, who do you think was going to be a penalty taker between Saka and Gyökeres?
So the rule says if if an opponent starts dragging a player down up until he gets into the box, that's what the rule says. You look at the action. So the question is, did the foul start outside? Yes. Did it go into the box? And I think that was the confusing part. I've seen free kicks given for those. If the penalty was overturned, I wouldn't be too incensed when you
Yeah.
compare with the very clear handball that happened in the box, right? There was a very clear handball that VR should be picking up. For some
Yes,
reason,
yes,
they
yes,
didn't pick
yes.
that up. So I would have been less incensed if that was called off than I was incensed that the handball was not given, which to me was a clearer penalty. So let's put it that way.
Okay.
Secondly, what was the second question about
Yeah. Our penalty taker between Saka and
our
Gyökeres.
penalty taker? Yeah, so I want it to be Gyökeres, but then again, that was Bukayo Saka's 200th Premier League appearance. He needed one goal or assist to make it 100 contributions in 200 games. Uh, at first, I said, why Gyökeres? But when I thought about it, I understood why Saka took the penalty. We've had a penalty that Gyökeres took, but I'm not sure Saka was on the pitch then,
No, no,
was he?
no, 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 he was injured.
It
Yeah,
was.
against
He was
Liverpool. So
injured.
he subbed out.
Yeah, so if I was the gaffer, which I'm not, I will allow the both of them to sort it among themselves.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so Babajide, let me go to you on this question. Oh, yeah, like some echo. So let me go to
Okay.
you on this question. We've lost Nkapie, Odegaard, Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Madueke, and yet we're still performing at the level that we are right now. What's your take on Arsenal's depth? And do you think that we need to keep pushing ourselves to get these more injuries? At what point do you think it might come back to hit us like last season?
So first thing is that the learning point of last season, we failed last season. Why? Because we didn't bolster that team. I think it was complacency. We came back from that 2 seasons ago when we were just shooting from the hips and we felt we could just go to the other season and just play same players. We didn't bolster that team last season. That was the big failure. We would have just taken over everywhere, but we still came second. So they learned their lessons this time. And pretty much, I think we have two players for one position right now, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So the management and Gaffer have learned their lessons. Creative players are everywhere. Saka went off. What's his name? Came in. The Chelsea guy. Sorry, what's his name again?
Madueke, Madueke.
Madueke.
Madueke. Noni came
Mm-hmm.
in, and he was shining. So right now, I feel comfortable. There's that sense of comfy you have with your strength and depth for your team. That hey, whatever goes on. Look at Odegaard went out. Lubick changed the game entirely.
Yeah.
However, however, from a fan point of view, I don't like the injuries. Though. I don't want it to keep on creeping. We still need everybody on board. I want even Odegaard if he's going to be on the bench and come in the second half. I want that. So I pray for it to cease. Just like you said jokingly, maybe we need to sacrifice Achike today. Maybe if we sacrifice him here, the injuries will stop. Since he's the only non-Arsenal fan, that's the only person we can sacrifice. We'll send
Yeah,
him to
yeah.
Rimor Rock
At this point.
so that the injuries can stop. They need to cease. But right
Yeah.
now, the strength and depth, the eye test of just looking at Arsenal right now, I feel on top of the world. And I think the same thing is vibrating among the team, the fan base, even all the pundits right now are saying, hey, this is the time. So we have to grab it.
Awesome, awesome. So before I go to Coco, let me just quickly go through the chat. A couple of folks on the chat, thanks for being here, with their comments about the penalty. So Chris was like, going by the rules, it's a penalty for him. Timber was fouled from outside into the box. Okay, I accept that. Kelechi said this incident was a penalty from clap with the enter dance, all not doings. And of course, Abraham was like, Saka taking the penalty shows that he was really thinking about stats, which is why a player like Messi is on God level because he's like giving it to Gyökeres. But Abraham,
Bullshit.
I'll disagree with you on this because if you remember, there have been times when Saka has given penalties to folks like Odegaard or even
Havertz.
Kai
Havertz
Havertz.
first goal. Yeah.
Yeah, Havertz first goal. So I'll disagree with this sentiment. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. Let's talk some more about West Ham. Under Graham Potter, they were in such a rut, and clearly, Nuno is using the same players, and I think the XGC and XG prevented are kind of improved under Espirito Santo. So, Coco, what are your thoughts on West Ham defensive stats going forward? Do you think they will continue to keep shipping in goals the way they did, or has Nuno come to really, really put a block on that part of their football?
Well, yeah, I think Nuno is like Achike pointed out. Nuno Espirito is a coach that really works on his team. He's a coach that the signature of his teams have always been to soak and absorb pressure. And what's the hallmark of that? It's the defense. I
Yeah,
remember when he was with Wolves. I mean, names like Ryan Aït-Nouri was very. I mean, it was one of the reasons Aït-Nouri is with City now is because he was part of that team that could absorb the pressure and hit you on the counter. They could
yeah,
absorb, they could take so much. Yeah, he did an amazing job at Nottingham Forest. Matter of fact, I believe that maybe he did step off the one of the reasons he had the fallout with the owner of the club was how Forest seemed to go off the prong on towards the end of the season. They were pushing for Europe, for top tier Europe. And I mean, I had his defenders became very popular in FPL. Murillo, Milenkovic. I know, they will keep a clean sheet and they will hit you with something. So I believe that's one of the reasons why West Ham have decided to bring him in because West Ham have good defenders. They've over time they've shown over periods of time that they can defend if they've been, if they're given the what's required, the ingredients, in terms of coaching and whatnot.
okay.
So it's probably going to be his strong point is to make the defense something that can be reliable. Thankfully, we've played them already. You could see the team was a bit lost. They didn't really know. They were probably trying to understand what he wanted to bring in. But I have no doubt that Nuno is going to stabilize to an extent West Ham's defense. They're a solid team. They are in a very good stadium. They have a massive fan base. I think West Ham has, if not on average, the highest fan attendance, or rather, stadium attendance at the moment in Europe, if not if not England. So I look forward to seeing what Nuno is going to do with that defense. Because in as much as it's a London club, West Ham is a Premier League club that comes with its own sauce.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, thanks. So now, so before we leave this section, let's talk with Oyokeres. So we have Charles Umbo in the chat. Welcome, bro. Always good to have you here. He says Saka needs to be on penalties until he becomes more unproductive. You don't need to switch it. Yokeres, which is my focus here right now, needs to be scoring from role of play on consistent basis, especially in tough low block games. So Achike, it's been 6 games now since our Gyok scored for Arsenal, and it's not yet time for us to get to pitchforks and torches. But what's your take on him as a football fan, not necessarily as an Arsenal fan, watching his games? He came off playing with in quotes on Farmers in the Portuguese league, where he scored 97 goals in 102 games,
It's farmers.
and there was some serious hype around him. But coming into Arsenal, I've seen him in quotes struggle. Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City, Newcastle, he did okay as well. So what's your take on Gyökeres so far at Arsenal?
I mean, you see, as I've said previously on this stream, my take on the modern football. Everything is a big story. Every second, everything. Arsenal's arguably greatest player of all time didn't score assist in his first 7 games, and he's still the greatest Arsenal player of all time. So all this wanting to get things immediately happen. I watch Sporting Lisbon a lot. They're my Portuguese club. They're actually arguably the club I watch second most to Man United because their times rarely clash with anybody. And so I know the kind of player Gyökeres is. I personally didn't think he'd be amazing at Arsenal, not because he's not a good player and Arsenal not a good player, but I don't think he's what he's missing in Arsenal unless Arteta was planning to change his style of play.
Yeah.
Now, I think a mutual friend of all of us, Tino, even said it, and we said it when he was being signed, that is his assists and how he influences other players and creates space for them are what would actually, I think, we thought personally have more of an impact in Arsenal. About his lack of scoring, it's 6 games ahead. So has he been playing badly? No. Has the team been playing badly overall as a result of him? I don't think so. So it's not a big brouhaha. Sometimes people go through dry patches. His style of play, I think, suits the bigger games more because he's more of a transitional player in the sense that he's quite quick, and when Arsenal are attacked and they're running the other way, I think that's what suits his game a bit more, running into the channels and then maybe sending the balls in for the midfielders coming through. But people, when you buy a big number 9, people expect them to be a target man. It's the same problem Man United had with Højlund. Because he's tall and he's Scandinavian, you want him to be a target man, but he's a channel runner. Look at how he scored again a few minutes ago for Napoli. So it's about using players to the strengths which they have, to their strengths. About the penalty one, I mean, it's neither here nor there. For those of you, I mean, you guys are young guys and all that. But in the good old heyday of Arsenal, when you had Henry and Perez, if Henry was the one fouled, he never took the penalty. They even tried to do that Ajax thing that Barcelona did with it.
And he messed it up. Yeah,
we're 2-2. Oh, he hasn't scored in 6 games. Has he flopped? Is he at 0-0-7? All that. It's irrelevant. It's not a big thing. And that person that said it's a bad thing, I'm sorry. You should mark a good occasion, a big occasion, with a goal. If Saka realized it was his 200th game, and if he scored his 100th goal, why not? Jamie Vardy last season, he said once he scored that was it 200 goal. He didn't play another game for Leicester. He liked it. 250. Was it 400 games, 200 goals? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, 500 games, 200 goals.
500 games. What's wrong with that? You understand? These things are important. There's some things you do. Like if Arsenal plays on your birthday, for instance, you might have a belief that Arsenal never lose on your birthday. And it's something special to you. If Arsenal, they wear one particular shirt. We shouldn't stress these young guys too much, I beg. Saka, you people start, but he didn't do anything wrong by taking the penalty.
Yeah, and
Gyökeres will come good. If he scores no goals again till the end of the season and Arsenal win the league, no problem.
So Abraham said that I think I'm about to take us back to 1994.
No, 84.
Okay, so let's go to our title rivals. What we have had enough Arsenal cooking today, and I'll start with you, Uche, on this one. It's another soccer punch for the Reds. 2 straight losses in a row. I remember there was a narrative when they were scoring so many late goals that they have resilience, they have mental strength, yada. And all of a sudden they've considered to Crystal Palace, Nketiah doing the Lord's work then, and of course Estevao And now it's all about they're having hard love, blah blah blah. So how do you talk about these double standards that are going around the world right now? What's your take on their performance so far in the last two games?
Football is a game of agendas. The only thing is that you need to test your agenda against reality because there are a lot of times that we are thinking things, but when we actually run it against reality, we realize that these are our biases that are talking. You know, I've always said that for a team to score, to do an equalizer at the dying minute or a win at the dying minute, that is a plus for any team in the world. Why? Because in a lot of games, you can be playing brilliantly, but you wouldn't get a goal.
Yeah,
So in that case, it's a plus. In some games, you may be playing poorly, your opponent is hammering you, you get a goal at the death. That means you withstood pressure and still won. And that's also commendable. So I'm not of the belief that people who score late are lucky. No. Anytime you want, as long as you score within the game, it's fine by me. Scoring late is even more emotionally rewarding. You know, at the death, you think you're losing, but of course, agendas always run. And let's get it clear: what is wrong with Liverpool is not that they're running out of luck or whatever. I think is a key area that Arsenal fixed this season with better, but Liverpool did not. Arsenal were very careful with the balance of the squad,
yeah,
and I
okay,
think they were able to achieve that. 9 players left, and 8 players came in. The
yeah,
players who the club felt were surplus to requirements were shipped out on the last day,
yeah.
all on
Then
loan, all on loan or almost for free. That is
yeah,
the ruthlessness. But Liverpool went top heavy. I mean, top heavy in the top end of the pitch.
yeah, like like,
With
like, like like Johnny Bravo.
exactly with and Isak. And so sometimes that is not necessarily a bad thing. If we think about some of the greatest teams in the Premier League, it's been that attacking push, you know. But again, it all depends to how the manager is going to use the squad. Despite the fact that the squad is top heavy, does he have to use players in those positions? Let's not forget players like Wijnaldum were converted from forwards to midfielders. Does Gakpo necessarily have to play left wing forward? You know, so these are questions he will answer over time, but I don't think it's luck. And yes, I think Arsenal has a way more balanced squad than Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. So, Papa, let's talk to you on this one. So, Charles made a comment here. Liverpool is getting saved everything they saved others and they're suffering at the right time, but there are two centre backs in January away from regaining their stability. What's your take on their defense? No, Van Dijk has always been a rock, but obviously I've been alongside Matip, Konate, Joe Gomez, and all that. And obviously they tried to get Guehi, but that didn't work in last year of the season. So what's your take on Liverpool defense right now? Do you think they can improve on it, or just where they are right now?
Overall, I think Liverpool has been average. That's facts. For this season, I know it's just 7 games in, but all that edge of scoring at the last minute, everybody has been praising them that they are doing the right thing. But for me, I think that's what comes in when you say when you play well, luck can come for you. But sometimes when you're not playing well, the luck will not come. They've not been playing. I don't think the performance has been same with last season. And I think the jury is out. The jury is out now on who. And it's lots. Nah. The jury is out on him right now. Because for me, I think he came last season. He met Klopp's men. He enhanced the team. He won things. We need to give him props for that. I'm not the type that will say, oh, he just came and he took over. But right now, this season, he needed to bolster the team, and he has done that. Now, he has his work cut out for him because now the team has to gel. Before he made a team that was already gelling. Now he's brought in some top guys, and the team has to gel. And that's where a coach comes in, man management, tactics. And you can see that they are not gelling right now. Unfortunately, they are not gelling. It's game week 7. But for what I've seen, I can't even call them title contenders right now. I'm sure they will get it right at some point, but the competition of EPL will not wait for that. So I think Arne Slot needs to show who he is right now. Last season, yeah, he did well, but now with this new crop of players, we can see even Salah his season is not running like the way he used to be invincible. Okay, let's talk about the back. Konate has been shaky. I don't even understand it because I used to be a Konate fan, even if I'm not a Liverpool fan. But
Yeah.
Konate has been shaky. I think maybe he's nursing some injury. I don't know. Uh, the right back, I don't think they've. Anyway, it's good. It was always going to be hard to replace Trent anyway because Trent was colossal. Trent was not just every other right back. So I think they're struggling there. Bradley coming in, Frimpong coming in, they're struggling. So you can see the dynamics of now it needs to work. He needs to make that team gel. You can see the back is shaky, even the front is shaky. Where I'm judging them from the high standards of last year, definitely. So the way it's going, that defense, he needs to sit down and drill that defense. Give them another 4 or 5 game week. If they don't change, then let's just say I'm happy they are like this. So from an Arsenal viewpoint, let them
Yeah.
continue like this for another 10 weeks, so that by then we are just looking at them from our rear view mirror. Then they can start getting better. But right now, I think Arne Slot has got work to do.
Okay, thanks. So, Coco, I'd like to speak to you on this. There's a comment from Abraham here. He says that Liverpool's problem is the fact that their incomings are actually yet to pick. The view that only Ekitike has taken Ekitike on a dog sea water, but Isaac is still in preseason. Okay, so what's your take on that Ekitike Isaac dynamic? How has this panned out in your eyes as a Premier League fan watching it?
Well, I think, I mean, I'm going to go a little bit back because you can't discuss the dynamic without discussing the transfer season. I mean,
Yeah.
the incoming, I mean, Isak was the primary target that Liverpool had. I mean, Ekitike was an afterthought as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
And they acted smart. They went out, got Ekitike, um, thinking that Newcastle valued Isak too much, let him go. But Isak made the meal of the opportunity to leave. I mean, who wouldn't
Yeah,
with
obviously.
Liverpool? So, and they got their guy. I mean, I think it became an embarrassing situation for Liverpool if they didn't go ahead and bring in that guy, seeing what he had done on his past. These days, transfer sagas have now gone to what the desires of the player in question. I mean, we're living in a woke world now, aren't we? So, um, Ekitike is young, he's young, he's hungry.
Yeah.
He's behaving like every young player. I mean, he got the red card the other day because he tried to,
Yeah, that was
too
very
close,
silly actually.
and me, that stuff. So, Isak, on the other hand, has Premier League experience. I mean, he's a clinical finisher. We saw the one goal he scored from, I
Against
think that was,
Southampton.
yeah, that was the EFL.
EFL Cup. Yeah.
Exactly, that was fantastic. That was one of the best finishes you would ever see from a striker. I mean, it was so brutal. So I think it's going to be part of the problems that Liverpool have this season. We know that the one problem they do have is in their central defense, goalkeeping option, and I mean, given the what Babatunde said, they didn't probably assess the nature of their recruitment. They have some lapses.
Yeah.
But that battle between Isak and Ekitike, I don't think it's going to be complementary. I believe that in a case where Ekitike would have to do something, sacrifice for the team, is probably going to want to go for glory. At the end of the day, those little decisions in a league that is this competitive, I mean, may cause problems for Liverpool. But I mean, hey, I don't mind. So anything that causes them pain, I mean, that's not bad. We're
Yeah.
happy. I mean, I remember when we lost the opportunity to win a league when Leicester went ahead and won the league. I mean, I don't want to be competing to the end of the season. I mean, let all my
Yeah.
enemies, rot and burn, and let's just go
Yeah.
with the glory. So, so
Okay.
yeah, Ekitike Isak is going to be more of a problem for Liverpool than a
Yeah.
solution, at least this season, before Arne Slot
Sort it
gets
out.
gets to sort the issues out.
Okay, so I want to talk to Achike next, but there's a comment for you, Coco, by
Yeah.
Abraham. He says I need to liven up that you're giving us bedroom voice.
No, I mean, I'm sorry to say. I mean, look at the match. Look at the game today, man. Arsenal was not even bothered, and this is West Ham that beat us at home twice. So
Also,
Yeah.
I'm so
sorry,
chill right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not only is Coco giving us bedroom voice, it's only him that his screen is slanted a bit. Coco, I just please, I mean, should we lie down with you? Should we lie down
no,
with
no,
you?
no, no, no.
I know you are using your phone. I know, and you're trying to keep it wide to
Yeah,
see us,
so
but let us see you too. But
okay.
by the way, I would like to use this international fora stroke forum stroke whatever to remind Coco that there's a Mosque Ravager that he owes me, since we're still here on the internet in front of the whole world.
The whole
Coco, don't
universe
forget, it
here.
has been 8 years. 8 years, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not bitter. I'm just onubu soup.
Okay, so
Liverpool.
Achike.
So here's the thing, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
who was it that said it earlier? Achikela is going to the old days and whatever, and whatever. You see, I might be one of the few people that was not impressed by Liverpool last season in any form, shape, or manner. Jurgen Klopp just managed them from far away. 23-24 season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool had 82 points. They came third with 82 points, right?
Yeah.
They scored 86 goals, conceded 41 goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, they won the league with 84 points, scored 86 goals, conceded 41 goals. The only difference was one of their draws from the year before turned into a win last year.
You win, yeah.
So I know there's someone in our group that keeps on calling Slot a fraud. And they always like, how can he be a fraud? Blah, 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 because he won the league. But he has not shown anything of his own accord to me in the Premier League yet. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not yabbing him, but your team was the identical team, and people you used it as a flag to beat to say how good he was. That his team was the identical team for the year before, and they achieved the exact same identical. 2-point difference. Only difference was Arsenal and Man City. Like in the year Coco talked about, Arsenal and Tottenham allowed Leicester to win the league. It's the same way Arsenal and Man City allowed Liverpool to win last year's league because Liverpool only improved by 2 points.
Yeah.
And those other teams dropped by, I think, 6 and 12 points respectively. You understand? So that's why me pointing to Liverpool being shaky. I mean, I'm watching. Let me see how it goes. This is the first time the coach has his team. He now has to actually coach, telling Trent and Salah to do Trent and Salah things. Even I could have entered there to tell them to do Trent and Salah things, and more. And the difference which we saw in his team was that they slowed down a bit when they were now in the lead. Hence, more 2-0s, this and that and that. Any of us here can tell boys that have gone 2-0 up and 3-0 up to calm down, save your energy. Salah, last year you went to AFCON, you injured, calm down. This year another AFCON is coming, we'll see what happens. And I'm not saying he's not a good manager, but the whole first season title winning thing reminds me of, again, I'll go into history because I have that almost eidetic memory. 08-09, Chelsea came third with 84 points or 83 points like that to Man United. Ancelotti entered. The next season, they literally got one win more, won the league with 86 points in that Ancelotti's first season against United. And it was that kind of, Ancelotti's a genius. And then the next season, obviously, when he returned to second and everything, Abramovich sacked him. Sometimes we forget how things were done and only just remember that they were done.
Yeah.
Salah had a fantastic season last season. It's not going to replicate itself. Yeah, you buy more attacking players, but Trent, as much as we have Trent defensively,
it was so vital. Yeah.
The cover he makes in the midfield and then extending and all that, it's very important to the way they play their football. So if we look into it, we'll see how the rest of the season goes, and then we can judge.
Yeah, that's fine. So Chris said that we should leave Coco alone. That he's sweet to be the table leader. Fair enough. So Babaji, let's talk Chelsea for a bit now. They allowed this Axel Disasi go on loan. Tosin is injured. Cowell is injured. Fofana is injured. Achipong got injured. Chaluba had a red card. Have you seen a defense that decimated? And what was your take on the performance against Liverpool?
First thing, please. I have sent a postcard to Cobams and I've sent to Sao Paulo too for Esteval. We sent a huge postcard for him because that last Gaps goal
Yeah,
gave us, joy. So let's
Jesus
start with
joy.
that. Yes, it was London joy, the red side of London joy. Okay, see,
Oh
Chelsea, Chelsea is another team that they've packed players. You see, we are talking about Arsenal's strength and depth.
my God. Yeah,
If Chelsea can manage the group of players they have very well, I think they would make a difference. Look at what's the Tosin is gone. In fact, the day Achepong came to play, I thought he was the first team player. Okay, now he's gone. But Shile has come in. They have players. They have players. And look at the changes. Today, for me, I think it was the bench that won the game. Esteval came in.
yeah,
What's his name? Lavia came in. Uh, and everything changed. Everything changed. And they kept pressing. So they play 90 minutes like the game is still on. And it's because they have the strength and depth. So I
yeah,
don't think they are going to shake in terms of players getting injured. I just think the manager needs to seek for some more consistency. I think that's their issues now. That's the only thing. If they come in and get more consistent, Chelsea can worry this league. You see, we've been seeing signs of flashy brilliance from them. Okay, look at they are world
World Cup.
champions, by the way. They are world
Yeah,
champions.
yeah.
Like
And
that,
and,
we
and,
see two
and,
and two.
and they always remind us in case we were not aware.
They are world champions. That game was, in fact, I watched 90 minutes until today. Even their fans, I'm sure, were not sure that game was going to be won because PSG was on top of the world. So you see, they have that flash of brilliance that if they can normalize it and sustain it, they could worry teams in the EPL.
Okay, fair enough. So, Coco, let's talk about Chelsea's attack. With all the billions they spent, do you think they could have done better with the investment they made in the attack? Because so like João Pedro now, he's not necessarily a 9. He's actually more of like a 10. But they allowed Jackson to go to Bayern Munich, and of course, they had to recall McGreal back from Sunderland. So, what's your take now on Chelsea's attack, especially with Palmer still out injured?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Chelsea's attack, because I mean they started their business early, João Pedro and Delap from I think they
Oh
went the way
yeah,
of the
yeah. I
combination
forgot
midfield.
that himself. He has been injured
Exactly,
too. Oh my
João
god.
Pedro and Delap, so I mean everyone was saying how brilliant they were kicking it off preseason. I think they're a case of oh, we are doing so well in preseason. Maybe these two are the combination we need, to complement our team. They had
Yeah,
so much. They have so much in defense, So I think Chelsea have proven that they can bring out the money. They can buy the players.
yeah,
I personally like that combination. Maybe this is why I am an amateur, but I still think they could have kept Jackson. They could have maybe made him feel a bit happy because Jackson is a player that gets in those positions. Maybe import some babes from his hometown to keep him happy. Make him understand that I don't know, do something unorthodox. To make the guy understand that look, you know what, we still need you in this team. Because it's a long season. We're in the
yeah.
Champions League. So I think they're a bit flippant with the way they were sending off players that were good to them. I know
Yeah,
that
like
Chelsea fans will
Chilwell.
say,
Yeah, I agree. I
yeah,
agree.
you did exactly. So, but why not? If not, I mean, they had to now desperately recall Magui, and they tried to bring Jackson back, which of course,
That
I
didn't
was
work
Jackson.
out.
I was,
Yeah, you
I
have to,
was
you have to,
just
you have to rebuild. Yeah, pretty much.
exactly. I rebel because I mean it's a spit on my face. So
Yeah,
yeah, but Chelsea is a solid squad. It's just I'm not sure they have all the ingredients at the moment. It's a young coach, Enzo Maresca. Is a bit. I mean, I look at he got his red card. From he got his red card from celebrating
from
with the
celebrating.
Esteval
For,
goal.
for, for passion.
Yeah, maybe he's an Arsenal fan. Because our
Yeah, yeah,
celebrations were
yeah.
not
So,
important.
Come
I
on.
think yeah, they start you call it, is it prematurity with the squad that is maybe the X factor for the Chelsea, But I mean, they need one or two tweaks. I think maybe Achike may speak to what they need to stabilize that team, but they have something going there for them,
Yeah,
and
yeah, and even the
yeah,
players they bought, then Gittins and Garnacho. Ugh. So I think
exactly.
let's just show much on Chelsea before we leave here. They've had four
I
red
mean,
cards. They've had four red
yeah.
cards in a row now. What's your take on their? Is it issue of their temperament, or is it issue of indiscipline, or just bad luck?
Yeah, no, I think it's majority bad luck. When you look at the, see, it's easy to say forward cards in a row. If you look at the individual case by case basis, I mean, the Sanchez one on Buemo was just blood rushed to the head, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he misread it. He thought he would come out and get the ball. It happens. It was too early in the game for him to take it. And then the next one was a last man foul, right? In the game
Yeah,
against Brighton,
Chaluba,
last man foul. Chalobah, and then Champions League guy, João
Jao
Pedro.
Pedro. Yes,
I
yes,
didn't
that
watch that
one.
game, so I have no idea. My team is not Champions League, so my weekdays I spend them practicing my new hobbies,
Come
pottery,
on.
crochet. I'm getting into knitting. This my having your weekdays free, your weekday evenings free is very rare for me. So I'm enjoying it. Pottery. You guys should try and make a pot. It's very nice. And
bro,
then
bro.
yesterday was two yellows for Maresca, right, for kicking the ball and celebrating. Come on, see, I
Yes,
can't happen to
yes.
anyone.
Maybe,
It can happen to anyone.
maybe
Okay.
solidarity, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair
It'll be
enough.
all
So
right.
so
It'll be all
let's
right.
go to the next game. Uche, I will start it here on this one, Tottenham. So Thomas Frank has been a revelation this season and is rightfully in third place. What's your thoughts on Tottenham's form so far? And are they really missing some?
Yeah, so it's no surprise seeing Thomas Frank do well with Tottenham. If you've known him from Brentford, you know he's a good coach. He knows how to bring the best out of his players. And some of the signings at Tottenham have been overlooked. I'm talking about Mohamed Kudus. I'm talking about Javi Simons. Do not forget, they had already gotten Morgan Gibbs White over the line.
Yeah,
And then,
now
yeah,
remember.
and then the Martian boss pulled up. So right now, they also almost had AZ on the dotted line. And then
Yeah,
the aura of Arteta pulled up.
yes,
So
boss.
imagine getting Gibbs White and Eze with Kudus, Simons, Madison, Kulusevski.
Paulinia.
So
Yeah, yeah, I forgot.
they've done very good business, and Richarlison is the exact type of player that Thomas Frank likes. We still have what's his name, Ben
Colomani.
Johnson. We have Ben Johnson, we have Kolumwani, and we still have
Sri Lanka.
the 60 million pound Sri Lanka. So with that number of players in and around the attack, they will be fine. I worry about the back though. I worry about the back though. Do they have what it takes at the back and maybe at the center of midfield? They've got Palia to cover. So you shouldn't be surprised that Frank is doing well if you know Frank in the Premier League. Can
Fair
Tottenham,
enough.
however, sustain this form across the season? That's the big question because they are also in Europe. So Thomas Frank will be stretched. Can he manage that? I think that's the
True.
big question.
True, true. Okay, so Jude, let's talk about Javi Simons. He was the final signing they brought, I think, after Kolomwani. And there's so much pressure on his shoulders to come up with the goods. Do you think he can live up to the hype that has been placed on him? Or is he just one of those players where they just have to allow him just cook the way he is?
No, Javi will take some time. You see, what will fail to appreciate is that the English Premier League is fast paced. It's different. So no matter how good you are, you still must settle down. You need to settle down to the style of play of the EPL. You need to also understand your team. But does he have something going for him? You can see it's clear that he knows how to move the ball. He knows how to progress the ball. He can beat a man. He can take set pieces. He can find good passes. So I think he will come through, but they have to give him some time. He will need to settle down. At least let's say another 4 or 5 game week. And I trust Frank to know how to use them because he's a veteran now. We can say he's a veteran of the EPL, Thomas Frank, even
Yeah.
if it's like 2 or 3 years, but he knows
No, it's like
the in
four or
and
five.
out.
Like
Like for
5 years,
five
like
years.
up to 5 years,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Or
So
more,
he's a
yeah, yeah,
veteran.
literally.
So I
He was
and
in
we can
championship
see
as well
from
too.
Or
from
six.
the
Or from one of
championship,
them.
and you can see from the last Brentford, you can see that he had a team that could challenge anybody, even for the fact that they are like in the middle tier.
Yeah,
So I think he will come through because when a new player comes, apart from your team members and the style of play, who is the coach that is going to drill you in is very, very important. Those
yeah.
factors are important. Yeah, I think he'll come through under
Okay.
Frank.
Okay, makes sense. Coco, so let's talk Leeds. They won their first home game against Everton, beginning of the season. They drew against Newcastle at home, drew against Bournemouth at home. This is actually the first match they are losing at home this season. Have you been impressed with how they have played so far? And do you think that they are certainly going to stay up?
Well, yeah, I mean, Leeds have always been a vibrant team,
True.
it's they're known for, the I mean, any Leeds, I think their model, their managing model is about attack, vibrancy. They like to be an exciting team on the average. So given that they started the season this well, it's a plus for them. They're going to be worrying about the relegation dogfight at the end of the season. No doubt about that. But are they going to be able to notch up enough points early in the season to give them that comfort zone, that
Yeah.
space they need to, to maybe go in the next transfer window and see what they can absorb with the one or two additions they can bring in on loan and whatnot. Personally, I think Leeds is one of the more interesting the teams that came up from relegation. I mean, going by what they've given us in the Premier League, the Mark Vidukas, Harry Kewells and all that. So,
Alan Smith, yeah.
when we're a bit younger, when we're a bit more unbiased, at least was a team I used to love to watch. So it's nice to see them to come into the team, rightfully with their Red Bull slogan on their chest. I think it's going to be exciting to watch Leeds this season. We're going to have a few surprises, maybe a few shockers. I mean, I'd watch a Leeds game any day. I think they are going to be one of the minor teams to have something to show for their participation in the Premier League this season.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk Man City. Achike, so prior to Man City's 1-0 win against Brentford, Haaland had more XG than 13 other teams in the Premier League, right? And with 7 games played so far, he has scored how many? 9 goals or
Nine,
thereabout?
yeah.
9 goals. Yes, 9 goals so
Beast,
far.
beast, beast.
I'm just like, what can you say about this guy this season? What's going on with Haaland?
I mean, hey, he's a beast, goal scoring machine in a team that is willing to feed him. I mean, he's the one that should really be the Sean Gota of Man City. Feed the goat and he will score. Because that's just what it's about. No, it's just what it's about. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, you know, this is where the different opinions on football come in. Because obviously, in the games where he doesn't touch the game much and he doesn't score, they're like, what else does he do? I mean, goals win games, and if the only thing he does is score goals, that's his job. He's there to do it. And he shows the desire to score the goals. I mean, even his goal against Brentford today was such a well taken goal.
Yeah.
Sorry, I see Brentford 0, Man City
No,
3.
no, no,
Did I
no,
miss?
no, 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 just the typo on my
Type
end.
I fear. I was like, because no, because I didn't watch the end of the game, but I think I left at like 85 minutes.
Yeah,
So
there's no
I
one.
thought, did they score 3? Did they score 2? I was about to go on my phone, like, what did I miss? But yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know this is gonna hurt you guys a bit, but that his goal against Arsenal typified his hunger to score goals. After he gave Reinders that ball, did you see that run?
The
That was
speed.
literally what they said happened after the Biafra War. Osondo, run for your life. So the guy just wants to score. He just wants to score goals, and he's in a team where they are happy to, and he's also happy to, you know, hang around till he scores. Because some people wouldn't like that. Some people want to get involved. You Harry Kane now, senior man stuff. So wants to drop, give
Want
me the
to
ball,
come
let me
deep,
control the
yeah.
game, spring passes. Holland is spring what? Spring chicken. Please, I just want to score. And yeah, the guy is phenomenal. He's a goal scoring machine. And I hope I hope Man City gets charged with their 115 charges, get relegated, and then he goes elsewhere. And then life can go on.
Yeah, so Babajide, let's talk about Man City's form. In 7 games played so far, 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats. Are they going to be title challengers this campaign, or do you think they
Mm,
just hang around the top 4 to the end of the
mm.
season?
Okay, first, let me start with a fun fact. Uh, Haaland is the second player to score a goal for Man City in GTEC Stadium. That's the Brentford Stadium. The last 6 goals that were scored by Man City in that stadium has one
Phil
name on it.
Foden. Phil the
Foden.
bad boy Foden.
So
Yeah.
that when I heard that stat today, I was like, what? It was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, the hat
So
tricks and all that, I remember.
yeah. So see, City has been kind of Jekyll and Hyde lately. What I see is that they are either there or there. I'm judging them with their high standards, definitely. Last season was reality, Reality
Mhm.
was their best friend
Or an
last season.
anomaly.
It was an anomaly, but it was reality that you can't just be on top without changing anything. Because last season they saw the difference from past seasons, and now you can see that even Pep is starting to change. Because I think there was a start in was it game 4? The first time he was not going to change his team in like how many years?
3 games
Yeah.
in a row with the same with an
3 games in a
unchanged
row. Never
lineup
seen that before.
in his
Mhm.
So
career.
I,
he's
I,
also
I,
getting a little bit pragmatic,
no, I
right?
think he used up an
Yeah,
inch that he
it's
needs
it's
to change.
almost like he's searching for a fix.
Yeah, so I like that. Anyway, I like that because you must continue to think out of the box, even if you think you've been the best before sliced bread. That's the way they feature him all around the world. But right now, he's seeing the reality, he's seeing the competition, and he's seeing that he has to turn up. So I like the way. So I have my gut feeling would tell me that they are starting to look like a team that is like, let's say, a rebirth. Let me use that word. I think it's a rebirth. Even though I am a bit concerned about Alan focal point because he seems to be, if we want to use that cliche word, that a team is carrying somebody behind as if from his back. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
right now that's what Alan is doing. And you can see he's the focal point. So if Alan gets injured, or the midfield is not ticking and they are not supplying him the way it should be, then there would be issues. We saw that last season. I think it was KDB I think KDB used to be the assistant general. And when he
Exactly.
went out of form last season, the impact was there for Allen because he wasn't getting all that supply again. Look at KDB now, he's back doing business with Napoli and
Yeah.
it's still clicking. So I have a problem with the fact that can they get back to where they were last, because they are not there right now. Yeah, they are winning Brentford. Even today's match, I think today's match, Brentford were silent in the first half. They didn't give it a go. They came in second half and started giving it a go, and you can see the difference. They
Yeah.
played well. So if they were playing with another team with a better shape and better players, if it's that same context of today's game, it could have been 1-1 or 2-1. So they are not there yet. And if you ask me, I'll just say my gut feeling would tell me that they could get it together because I see that Pep is leaving everything to say I'm going to get back to where I am last season. So let's give them the best. But right now, let them remain like this because I appreciate the way they are going. Just like Liverpool is going, as Arsenal continue to grow in its ascendancy, let City continue to find their feet.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So, Coco, Kelechi is telling you that you're in the AO. So I'm guessing if you
Uh,
okay, so let's talk Brentford. Coco. Of
yeah.
course, they lost Mbuemo, they lost Visa, they lost Frank, they lost Noga,
But,
brought in their set piece coach as the head coach, and their performances have been on and off per se. They're currently in 16th place, with some basically funny kind of results.
Yeah.
What's your take on Brentford this season? Do you think that with the players like you got Thiago Henderson that they brought on, that they'll probably stay in the league because they are actually flirting with relegation right now, and if they don't take it lightly, something terrible might happen to them. So do you think they need
Yeah,
to improve in
exactly.
January?
Yeah, this sample space. I mean, what we've seen with Brentford from the first game one to this current
Yeah,
game, it's
we
not going to change for Brentford. Losing such a coach, you know, they didn't just lose their key players, which is Mbeumo and Wissa, in attack. They lost the coach, and it looked like they didn't have a backup plan. It looked like they would rather not have lost half. I mean, they fought tooth and nail to keep Wissa because, I mean, uh, Mbeumo was the lucky one to go early. So it's 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 difficult for me. I don't. The Brentford team I see is they have that dogged. I mean, they say what is it they say about teach a child the way he should grow and
won't depart
whatever
from it. Yeah,
whatever he won't depart from a year. So you can see that traces of that resilience with Brentford, but is it too much for a team to lose the quality in coach? I mean, and have a set piece guy come in. I mean, who knows? The guy might become the coach of the season. If he's able to avoid relegation. But they need to do something in January, definitely, from what we've seen. And I mean, I've not really analyzed the strength of the Brentford team, where their weaknesses lie, but it's clear. I mean, they were able to do something again against City, but City is a team that is currently also, I mean, going through a purple patch in a way. I mean, Haaland is the one holding them up.
yeah,
I don't know what Arteta was thinking when he played the way he played against them in the first half. It was
yeah,
clear to see that City is there for the taking. I mean,
yeah.
they are not steady, but Brentford, I feel for them really. I just hope they're one of the teams I'll be watching. From a pitiful standpoint.
Yeah.
We wish we could loan them some players. Some
But we have our injuries to
striker,
contend
whatever. But
it.
but we have, we are up against the ropes. Like I mean,
Yeah,
sorry to go back to us now. We can't continue to have injuries. So
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
um, they will be fine. I have a feeling they'll be able to to stay up. I mean, they are worse teams than they are right now in worse situations. I think in the Premier League we've had how many new coaches? Up to 6 or 7 new coaches this season. We have some coaches that are fresh off the season, like Anna Slot. And I mean,
yeah,
I'm sorry to drag him into the death, but it's maybe that cocktail of uncertainty around the Premier League will help them get some positive results, where it matters the most. It will keep them up. I mean, for them to be able to, I mean, I expected maybe Spurs would I expected Foden to do something.
yeah.
I probably lost the OG League because of that, but but,
Yeah,
but yeah, yeah,
yeah.
it's difficult
Okay,
times for Brentford, but they'll rough it out. They're a tough team,
okay,
you know.
fair enough. So which is about to leave us? Just give us your parting comments on the game week in general, even though we're about to get that later in the video.
This when you look at the course of the season, there are some game weeks that are pivotal to the final standing. Certain game weeks that some dominoes happen. Like at the same time, four top teams may just lose at once, and one team will just win. We saw that in this game week.
6-1.
Liverpool playing Chelsea. Those are two of the top five contenders. Arsenal playing West Ham, City playing, and then you had Liverpool lose. You had Man City win, Arsenal win, right?
Yeah,
And the table stunned. So this is going to be one of the pivotal weeks, and I see that the Premier League is shaping up nicely. Teams are now beginning to actually play how they want to play for the course of the season. So the early jitters are beginning to dissipate, and this is like a quarter of the season. 7 times 4 is 35. So this is just a quarter of the season.
okay. All right.
Nothing has happened yet. We can't even really say this team will be here at this point. But one thing is sure, Man U will struggle.
All right, thank you so much, Richard, for being part of us, man. As always, I love the support you give us in this channel. I'm looking forward to seeing you again, bro. Stay safe. Okay, so actually, there's a comment from Charles. He says, Coyote's throwing and corner kick may not be enough. Wolves should finish above them. Forget Wolves standing right now. I think Brentford goes down. Their defense and midfield needs attention from morning end. What's your take on Brentford? Do you think, like what Coco said, that they need to invest in January?
Yeah, no, they do, because so the problem is, when a lot of upheaval happens at the same time, yeah. And it's almost the same thing that's happening to Liverpool, right? Like, if you lose little percentages, right, over time, or at the same time, they're little by little, but their effect becomes bigger. Because, for example,
Yeah.
now, I mean, who did Liverpool actually lose? You understand what I'm saying? They lost Trent, right? For
Yeah.
example, but
Nunez,
Trent
Diaz.
is 3 to 4 to 5% of what happens. Okay, so Trent's passes at, let's say Trent's passes at 3% of what helps Liverpool, right?
Okay.
The space Trent goes into cover in the midfield is another 2%. The fact that Trent gives 40-yard passes to Salah is another 3%. The fact that Salah knows that Trent's deliveries can lead to headers. So yeah, you feel like, oh, we only lost Trent. We replaced him with this guy. But in
Very wrong.
the way you've played, you've lost about a quarter of the influence in the way you played. Not that
Yeah.
Trent is a quarter importance to Liverpool,
Yeah.
but those little things added up over time. Then again, if you drop Salah's involvement, that's another 15% you've lost, because you've got Wirtz now, who obviously wants the ball almost as much as Salah does, which he should, because he's a creative player in the middle. And so, same thing, sorry, with my long about way to bring it to Brentford. Same thing with Brentford. Like, when
Losing
you had
Wissa.
Wissa, Mbuemo, and Shada doing their thing, Mbuemo was the go out wide guy, do this and do that. Ouattara is a good player, very good player as well, and all that. But in the way Brentford play, he's not yet Mbuemo. And considering Mbuemo outperformed his XG and all that last year, you not only have lost Mbuemo, you've lost the luck he had in overscoring more than he should have scored.
Yeah.
Then the manager, whatever influence, charisma, whatever the manager lost. Yeah, you have the set piece coach who was there already. So you've gained a few points in continuity, but you've also lost a few points in the manager himself. You understand what I mean? Norgard, yes, you lost Norgard, but you got Henderson. Henderson has added experience, maturity, all of that, right? But you've also lost the fact that Norgard was part of the team for so long. It's one of those up and down things where it's kind of early. But sorry, I forgot another important one. I think personally, Kelleher might be a better keeper than Flecken. But he's still a new keeper. You're going to have to get used to him and all that. I mean, Man United's goal last year, Sesko's goal, that was last week, right? I think Flecken would have cleared it out the first time punch. His voice would have been more commanding, like mine, not the one I bounced to a few times. Kelleher did fantastic, don't get me wrong, because he saved the first two. I mean, he saved the first two.
And everyone was just looking at him.
So those little things. So it's still early, and they might have lost more in incremental percentages than they gained. And that might be the difference. The only thing they should be hoping, I don't think they'll be relegated, purely because I think there might be 3 worse teams than them, if that makes any sense. That might be the only thing. That might be the only thing I think will keep them up. But we'll see.
Okay, so we're done with our title rivals. Let's look at other key fixtures in the game week. Mabajide, I will start with you. I'm actually a happy man right now. Normally, this is supposed to be an Amorim cooking corner, but I think Amorim is chilled at this point in time. So, Mabajide, let's talk Man U Sunderland. Chesko is finally finding his feet. In the first games of the season, he was on the bench for I think the first 3 games or thereabouts, before he started coming on, and now he's playing regularly and his quality is beginning to shine through. How far can you see him go in this campaign?
I think firstly, let's allow Amorim to enjoy this win. The man has been under some severe criticism, seriously under fire. That was the role he took, by the way, but I think the fans should calm down, because this guy came in mid-season. For me, that mid-season debut was like just giving him a free hit, because no manager comes in with that trouble United was going through, and we will just steady the ship. So for me, it's first 7 game weeks. That's what he has done right now. And the recruitment he has done this season, I before the season kicked off, I admired those recruitments. Let me don't lie to you, just from a neutral point of view.
Okay. Okay.
Bringing out Mbumo. You know what Mbumo did last season? Mbumo was almost invincible. Was invisible. He brought in Kunha. Kunha
Yeah.
was a player that last season I just did. In fact, there was a time I had to go to Wiki to go and start researching that who is this guy? Because at some point he was clicking every week, and I was like, where did he come from? You know? So the procurements were very good. So that was the first sign. And look at Sesko. Somebody was even saying, somebody jokingly last week, somebody was saying, Arsenal should have gotten Sesko instead
Sort
of
of your carriers.
Gyökeres, that
I'm
jive
of
is
that
going on
opinion.
right now.
No,
That jive is going
I'm
on.
of that opinion. Just as a
Yeah.
matter of fact,
So,
I believe each team got who the other team should have gotten.
Yeah. Gyökeres will have cooked
anyway,
well in Man U, and Sesko will
I
have
think
cooked
it's
well in
early days for
Arsenal.
that, really. I think it's early days
No,
for that. I think it's
before
early
the
days.
transfer,
Sesko will come through.
before the transfer, I said this. I'm just saying that we were going for each other's striker,
Yeah.
I think Sesko
regardless
will
of how
come
they
through.
perform. No, regardless of how they perform. I mean, in styles of play. Sorry to interrupt. What I'm just saying is that this is something I was saying before the transfers. Like when we were going for Sesko, I didn't want us to go for Sesko. First of all, I wanted us to keep Hoyland and play differently. And then I felt that the way Arsenal plays, Sesko is what would be more of a difference maker. Personally, this was before the summer, before they were bought.
Fair point.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
point. Fair point. I think Sesko will come through, by the way, but Gyökeres will definitely come through. Let's even tag that since we're talking mind you. Today you can see that they had a steady performance, right? Even though we can argue and say they are playing Sunderland, but hey, it's 3 points. You get that confidence on a bounce. There's been that argument that he has not won 2 consecutive games, right? So hopefully the man would come next match and show up. And he's even telling people now that okay,
Because it's
uh,
Liverpool, eh? You're supporting him because it's Liverpool.
the guy is
I'm
the
familiar
guy.
with your game.
No. See, so
Say you should
no,
go.
but really look at historical data now. United has been a hoodoo team for Liverpool. It's not that Liverpool has been taking them over like that.
I'm just
So
saying now where your mind is there now because it's Liverpool are playing here, they should come good.
so hopefully he can get his second win on the bounce. Because right now, the pressure on that guy is getting older by the day. He's getting older by the day because I understand this Sir Alex Ferguson withdrawal syndrome that has affected that team. Like 7 managers. Today, if you even look at the win percentage, I think he's the lowest. I think he has like
Yeah.
20,
Yeah.
29.1% win
Yeah.
percentage. Amorim is the lowest. Even Moyes that we think is just one cut and so guy, he's decent. I think he had 52.6% when he managed Man U. So I feel for the manager. It's because they've gone to go and get a rock star from, he came with that big name from Portuguese league, and
Yeah.
everybody thinks that he's going to just turn everything overnight. But I think they will come through. They've recruited very well. I won't lie. That one I admired. Those critical PL veterans they brought in, they were not going to crawl. In Bumo and Kuma won't crawl. They'll go in. They have Mount. You see, Mount has not seen his best games yet. Most of it, I think, for the past 2 years, he's been
Quality
injured.
player.
Mount is a very, very good player
Very good.
from a
Very good.
neutral viewpoint. So I think they have a balance now, and I wish them luck. But on the other hand, I want them to still stay in the middle of the league till we can move forward. But from a very fair viewpoint, I'll say that Sesco will come through. I think that team will come through. Even if you look at their stats, see today it's only data that we can use to do predictive analysis to the future beyond our religious beliefs and the faiths. If you look at the data, even from game 1 to game 7, they are not underperforming like that. Even though it's tough to say with 3 losses, is it 3 or 4? It's tough to say, but they've not done that bad. So I think they will come through. I think they'll come through.
Okay, fair enough. So, Coco, let's talk about this comment from Charles. He says Sesko needs only Bruno or Cunha to be playing, not both. Finding balance is key for Amorim. Not being top heavy is key to bring the success of 3-4-3. Sesko needs to start Mount over Cunha. So my question to you, Coco, is this: do you think Man U's attack doesn't have the right balance?
Well, I don't know about that comment about Sesko needing only one or the other. I think that those players can play perfectly well, but what they need to do is, I don't know. I don't know what the jury is on Bruno, but I don't think Bruno is being played in his best position. I mean, Sesko, Bruno, and Cunha. It feels like a beautiful triangle to have. A team. What needs to happen is the coaching around those players. Like I saw a comment today from regarding another team, which was Liverpool,
Excuse me one second.
where the mention was that the Liverpool
Sure.
players all have
Hello.
the
Hey, what's up?
expectation of, I mean, one player has to be able to sacrifice, maybe be more defensive, be
Yeah?
more of a fulcrum than the other. That's what needs to happen. It's the man management. Good coaches should be able to coach players with to play in the way he wants his team to function. Arteta is doing that to an extent, even critically so. I mean, we're wondering sometimes what he does, but he's just trying to get that balance. He wants more players to play in the squad that is desirable. Cunha, Mbomo, and Sesko. I mean, if I was a Man U fan, I want to see Cunha up there, just behind Sesko. I want to see Mbomo having freedom, maybe between the middle and the right flank, because I mean it's just fantastic like that. Right on that his dynamism, what he showed with Brentford.
Yeah.
And I agree. Man U did a very fantastic recruitment this season. Um, Unfortunately, the coach is dealing with internal demons. I mean that guy is it's painful to watch him on the touchline. I don't think I've ever seen a more distraught manager any given time in any league in
United
the world.
fans, United fans want to kill that guy.
Bro, the guy is suffering, he's in pain. So I was happy that he was able to come up tops against Sunderland because I mean the Sunderland is proving to be a very strong team, off of the I mean Xhaka has a mission. He wants to transition into being a coach. He said he took up the challenge of a Sunderland, not because he wanted to come to Sunderland, but because he wanted to face the challenges a Sunderland team would face. So this is
Yeah.
a guy with a mission. So,
Yeah.
um,
And it has nothing to do
Send
with
me a message.
salary,
Send me a message.
as well, right?
yeah. So for Man U, I think they're going to have better results. I think it's going to be only upwards, because they've recruited right. They've done the good thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to be Amorim's first full season with them. Um, they are in a bit of, they are in a, what do you call it, recovery pathway, with the teams. They've seen a lot of rubbish, to be honest, in the past year. I think they suffered on that Ten Hag a lot on that Ten Hag. I like Amorim, and I know that they brought him in, especially off the back of that 4-1 victory against Man
Mm-hmm.
City, that he was able to mash up,
Yeah.
with
It's
that. And
sporting.
yeah, and also going to push into that conversation with Gyökeres Šeško. I think both strikers are going to do well, but I do feel that Šeško may have grown with Arsenal. However, to be honest, to have the best striker in
Okay,
the
so
world.
my own opinion is that Sesko was too similar to Kai Havertz, and Gyökeres offered us something different. So
Exactly, I
if
understand.
you had Sesko, you'd have still been another Havertz that is kind of
I
going to
understand.
blend and get better, and that's what my
Exactly.
challenge was.
Because I enjoy seeing the Gyökeres battle. He does a lot, like Chike was able to point out. I'm realizing that Gyökeres may not get in the numbers in terms of goals scored. He's the
Mm-hmm.
kind of striker that you're going to see him create a pathway for other players to excel. And we need that, with Eze, with Saka, with
Martinelli and
even
Trossard. Yeah.
exactly those guys. You'll see those guys' numbers going up, not because they are better than they were last season, but because we finally have somebody like it's more like a bulldozer with,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Gyökeres is going to get fitter. He's still he hasn't. I don't think he had a very good preseason. You know,
He actually didn't. Sure, sure.
yeah. So I think he's going to get fitter. So we might see an absolute beast in him, really, because what we've been seeing him doing progressively the past 2 or 3 games is more
Oh,
involved. You
yeah,
know,
hold up play and all that. Yeah, I
exactly.
agree.
His highlights are good, and you know that if he gets the ball on the tongue, he's going to punish any goal, any. He's going to absolutely blast and destroy net. So yeah, Sesko is good, but I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, over the next few years, I think, provided those two players stay in the Premier League, there's always going to be the comparison. There's always going to be Sesko versus Gyökeres, and which team is
Okay.
going to be. Yeah, but I think Sesko, Kuna, and Mbaumo is always going to be a main fixture. I mean, there's the Mount, but I don't really think that there should be a sacrificial lamb
Okay.
unless there's
Makes
an
sense.
injury. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you, Coco. So, Achike, I want to give you like 4 minutes, and I want you to cook. Like I want you to cook right now.
No, you see, is these conversations that people tell me I'm being old-fashioned and all
I
that.
want you to cook right
Let me
now,
ask
bro.
you. Let me ask you a question. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
June 15th. Yeah, June 15th.
1 year.
Before the Premier League fixtures came out. Yeah, before the fixtures came out,
Mm-hmm.
they told you next season will start. Do you think Arsenal will beat Man United in Old Trafford? What would your answer have been?
Probably not, because Ottawa is a bogey ground for me.
Okay. But as Arsenal finished the season ahead of Man U, it can go either way. And the game ended what? 0-1, right? It was a tight game. Okay. Man City will beat Man United in City of Etihad Stadium, whatever it's called. You say yes, no?
Of course, for sure.
I'll say yes. Brentford might win Man U might win Brentford. Considering we lost their 4-0 under Ten Hag, lost their last season 4-3, all sorts and sorts. It can go either way. Man U beat Sunderland. Yep. In Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Man U beat Chelsea in Old Trafford.
Yeah, probably.
They've not won at Old Trafford since Fergie's time.
Yeah, but that 4-3 that Palmer saw the hat trick. Who won that game? Was it Man U?
No, it was in Stamford Bridge. I said
Oh, okay, Old Trafford. Okay.
Man U beat Burnley at Old Trafford.
Yeah, standard now. Standard.
Man U might draw, might win, might beat Fulham in Craven Cottage.
Yeah, probably a draw.
You see, so the way the fixtures come out, like Sunderland are probably going to be relegated, but they had the easiest start to the season. So people automatically now are looking at them as a big, strong team and all that. Look at the team, the only team we've even lost to, Burnley. That was their friend in the championship. My point and roundabout point is that the way the fixtures line up can affect the way we view things. You understand what I mean? Crystal Palace, oh my God, fantastic team, this and that and that and that. What? They are 2 points ahead of Man U. Man City, title contenders, are 3 points ahead of Man U.
Cook.
No. I'm just saying that I understand being the biggest club in the land, scrutiny go day differently and all that. Yeah. No, it is what it is, and I understand it. And I point this out to Man U fans all the time and everything. I'm like, hey, Man United, historically, we are a club of big, great managers. Like that stat I always remind people of. Liverpool have won the league 20 times. How many different managers? 10 different managers. Man United have won the league 20 times. How many different managers? Only 3. Only 3 people in the history of Man United have won the league title. Let things sit. This poor young boy, because, we're old enough to call him a young boy, Amorim. They have turned into an old man with online fans killing him and all that. At least I'm happy that the fans at the stadium are not singing his name out yet, because that's when things really get bad and and owners cook and all that. Now, I want you guys, the 4 of us, by the 4 of us, grace of God, we shall still be alive. Please mark your calendars, yeah? Mark your calendars. After Manchester United play Liverpool on the 19th of October, yeah? Man United will not have up to 2 losses till the 7th of January.
It depends on who they are playing with now.
I know who they are playing. That's why I said it now. I know who we are playing. That's why I said it now.
Okay,
it's just the fact that I've done the research. And after the Liverpool game, till the Man City game on 17th of January, I don't expect Man United to lose more than 2 games.
Brighton home, Nottingham away, Tottenham away, you can lose that.
You can call whatever you want.
Crystal Palace away, you will lose that.
West Ham, Crystal Palace.
Okay. Yes, Crystal Palace away, you will lose that. West Ham.
Are you going to lose to Fulham in 2 weeks?
I'll draw. I'll probably draw. I want to go probably draw. Okay, let's continue cooking. Bournemouth home, Wolves away, Aston Villa away, Emery. He has a point against you. My point lose that. Newcastle home. Okay, yeah. So up until 17th of January, when you are hosting Man City, I think you will probably lose to Crystal Palace away and Tottenham away.
That's the two now.
Oh yeah, that. So we're even aligned actually.
you see, like, you have two in your head. I might have a different two. I might have a different two. My man Babajide, the Thanos himself, might have a different two. Coco, my Musgravajan friend, might have a different two. But now, suddenly, with that, that's what 11 games. So let's say we're saying we're going to get 20-something points from those 11 games. The narrative will now change. Oh my God, he's a genius. He has found his form, this and that and that. Neither is true, neither is a lie, right? Take things on a game-by-game fixture basis. People are talking about the formation or whatever. Come on, that story is so old. When I hate now, this guy's supposed to change information, whatever. No. Other people are using that formation with different players and winning games.
Yeah.
Players, get your head right. Manager is not blameless. But in every situation, right? Okay, let me not say every. Let me not be a complete whatever. In 80% of situations, I will back a manager over every player because a manager is nobody wants the team to win more than the manager. His job literally depends on the team winning. When fans talk about why this guy do like this and all that. Bruno Fernandes, I love him, Captain Fantastic and all that. He's 31, right?
Yeah.
At this point, a manager has to start almost thinking ahead of post Bruno, which is why I honestly believe that 100 million they offered in the summer.
Yeah, you should have sold him, man.
No, I don't think we should have. No, we should have. Because if you sell him and you don't replace him, it changes all sorts of things. But with the skill set he has, right? With the skill set he has, I don't think it's too much for the manager to ask him to be one of those midfielders in the middle. Yes, it is not his ideal preferred position. When Rooney did not play his ideal preferred position for up to 4 of his 20 years as a professional. But you have to do what the team needs at the point you need it. Yeah.
Let me add to that when Rooney said, and I quote, he actually studied Fabregas. And
when he wanted to drop.
To play like Fabregas as he was getting older because he saw, I think, one of those things, that. So I'm speaking to what you're saying here.
Yeah.
You have to adjust your game plan. You have to be willing to.
Yeah, Modric. I had the argument in the group one day. Modric was a 10 before.
Yeah,
he dropped a bit deeper. Pirlo, when he came from what's that club he was in? Is it Brescia? Then he went to Inter Milan before AC. People forget Pirlo played for Inter before AC, and then Juve. He was more of an attacking flash guy. You drop, you adjust, you all that. Because if you have Mbeumo, Cunha, those guys are younger. They are both 4 or 5 years younger than him, play in front and everything. To the point that guy made in the comment, I understand a bit where he's coming from in the sense that if you look at our 3 wins this season and the games where we played the best, Mbeumo and Cunha have not been the 2 10s. In the first game, the Arsenal game, Mbeumo was the 9. It was Mount and Cunha, So I understand his concept in the sense that Bruno is a ball carrier, Cunha is a ball carrier. Unless they are both the 10s and you have 2 DMs, you're imbalancing your team having both of them play. Crystal Palace made it work when you have what's his name, the English guy that those guys love again. The 2 DMs. I'm talking about the 2 DMs.
Watson. You
have Watson and another DM, be it maybe Hughes is playing as DM or Hughes is playing as DM. Then you can have Olise and Eze, or Olise and Sa, or Sa and Yoro running and both carrying the ball with a point man. But if you now make Watson one of those ball carriers, then every time you lose the ball, there's a hole. And that's what United are suffering.
There'll be a hole to plug, actually.
And look at Mason Mount, my boy. Money Mace. Such a fantastic footballer. If injuries can allow that boy to be great, that boy is a coach's dream. Fantastic footballer. He covers for that. If you watch when he plays, our pressing is on point. Against Arsenal, you saw it against Arsenal. Now. The guy was pressing with this guy. Right, had to be seeing all the balls long. And he just keeps getting injured, and we just hope he can stay fit. He's been integral in the wins we've gotten. But, it's one of those things where these stories, by January now, maybe middle of January, Man will be high up in the league. Oh, Amorim has finally clicked this and that and that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this season is a season. They did it to Nottingham Forest owner had that same madness last year. Imagine the season was reversed and Nottingham Forest had started as badly as they started, then ended the way they started the season in 6th position or whatever position they were. The coach will give the owner will give the coach 2 Greek islands and 4 Vestal virgins from
Yeah, I agree with your sentiment. So now let's go to Bournemouth.
Maranakis.
Let's go to Bournemouth.
One second, let me get another this. I'm coming.
Babajide, let's talk Semenyo. What's going on with that lad right now?
Semenyo. I don't know. Today, maybe is either we say it was a Semenyo show. I mean, this game week. Is either we say it's a Semenyo show or an Iraola show. Because we're also downplaying Iraola because he's not like that. He's not that guy everybody talks about.
Yeah.
But Iraola is making a big, huge impact in that team. In fact, gigantic, colossal impact. Because if you see his in-game management every game week, you have to admire. Because I like when a coach can sit down, check out the issue areas during the match, and he can bring his in-game management to change things. You can
Yeah.
look at this match. He brought in Kluivert, he took out Senesi and Tyler Adams out. He brought Kluivert, he brought that Jimenez, one guy bombing down the wings, and things just changed. Semenyo, for me, I think he has established himself now as the main X factor in that team. Just
Yeah.
look at that. Look at the goals. Look at the goals. That's
Yeah. That first one
solo
was
run.
amazing.
Look
Yeah.
at the solo run from the angle. That was
Sick.
if that was Messi now, we would have been talking about this goal throughout this weekend. It was it
Mm-hmm.
was it was it was a goal that you should. In fact, it's Puskas. We should line it up for Puskas
Yeah,
because he
I
went
agree.
through the wing. Look at that angle. Then look at the clinical finish. So Semenyo is becoming for that. If for FPL, he's set and forget.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I
some people
agree.
don't have him, but
Yeah,
the guy
yeah,
is
you
set and
know.
forget right now for FPL.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
7.9 million in FP yourself.
I'm telling you, if they can keep him fit, if they can keep Semenyo fit, and Iraola can continue to be the best man that he can be, because right now he's just on top of the world. I think Bournemouth could be. Are they not in top four right now? Even though it's early days,
Yeah, they're fourth.
maybe they're in top. They're in fourth. It's early
Yeah.
days, but what the coach possesses and the kind of players, the way he's turning them out to do what he wants to achieve,
Mm-hmm.
it's big time. And for that kind of coach, you can't count him out. You can't count
Yeah,
him out.
yeah, another thing to note is like what Chad said on the chat. Semoni and Kudus are actually like the best wingers right now. But what good thing to know is that Ghana did not qualify for AFCON, which means these guys are going to stay in the league while the
They
likes
are
of
going to
Nigeria.
stay.
So they spend more time cooking. You
Now,
know,
Kudos is also another X factor right now because, in fact, it's just for me. I think Kudos is giving that vibe that they are not going to miss Sonny that much, even though we know Sonny is exceptional. But
yeah,
Kudos is like his 90 minutes is a Trojan. I don't think he gets tired. He crosses, he's shooting. Now he's been having some great assists. Now see the goals are coming. Kudus
yeah.
is going to be a very big player for them this season.
Awesome, awesome. So let's go to Aston Villa. Man, I don't know what some of the season was quite disappointing for Aston Villa. You know, they were struggling to score goals. At some point, the narrative was that there were 92 teams in the English division that even had more goals than them. But in the last four games, after scoring eventually against Sunderland and Matikash, they beat Bologna in the Europa League, won Fulham, also won Feyenoord in the Europa League, and now they beat Burnley. So I say that right now, Emery is steadying the ship. What was your take on his performance so far?
Sorry, is this for me?
Yeah, I think it's from your end, Coco.
Yeah, sorry. My daughter.
Yeah, that's all right.
You know,
Go
when
ahead.
you're a father. Yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
All right. So, did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I was talking about as in, what's your take on Emery steadying the ship now at Aston Villa, following the
Oh,
kind of terrible start they had in the beginning of the campaign, not scoring
okay. Steady.
goals.
Well, Emery is a quality coach. I felt what was happening with Aston Villa was maybe, I don't know, um, was normal.
Yeah,
Emery is a manager that can't. I mean, how long was he at Arsenal? It was
18 months.
yeah. I think Aston Villa is fine, to be honest. The jury is out too early. Watkins is is a striker that knows the Premier League. You know, I don't know what's going on with them at Aston Villa. Um, I thought prior to this season, I thought they had too many players in similar positions. You know, it was confusing. But I think they shared the weight. What is happening is probably players not being able to understand that they are now fully responsible to what happens to their stats. You know, Morgan Rogers is a fantastic guy. He should realize that right now the onus is on
I'm
him
sorry,
to
gents.
No, that's fine. Welcome back.
yeah, the onus is on him to deliver for his team. Watkins and Emery and Aston Villa. To be honest, I think they'll be fine. I'm surprised that they are struggling at the beginning of the season. They've not had too much activity in and around their squad in terms of destabilizing their status.
I think it's just a
What's going
slow
on?
start, really. I think it's
Yeah,
just a
that's
slow.
just it.
Sorry to butt in. I think it's just a slow
No,
start,
please,
and
please.
you can't count Emery out.
Yeah,
I wanted to just bring in one quick fun fact, right? I think today was his 150th game of the Villa team, and he
Okay.
has 53% win rate.
Win
really.
rates.
That's the
It's,
best ever for any Aston Villa manager in the Premier League era.
it,
So I think it's a slow start.
that's
You can't count
fantastic. It
Emery
is.
out.
Yeah,
His tactical masterclass is well documented. It's not today. He's done it where different places,
yeah.
and we also know that Villa for now is just that vulnerability in the defense. If they can sort that out and balance the team, they will click. Sorry, Coco, for cutting in.
No,
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 no.
no, no,
Please.
that's
I mean,
fine.
that's the nature of the. I mean, it's a forum. We should even be interrupting much more. And you know, yeah,
Where's my Musgrave jazz since we're interrupting?
so I'll tell you a story about that. I'll tell you a story about that. You know, maybe before I finish this chat. But they blame it on blame it on on Arab Dubai visa issues, but not to worry, not to worry.
You
We'll
come
settle that shit. I
through.
mean, I got a call from my guy. He told me he hasn't seen me in a while and he has something special for me. I told him, you know what? I'll try and make sure I I mean I falsify my age, put it on Facebook so that they'll just send that visa and I can make it to the airport, you know.
He
So
can
yeah,
post it to us, please. You can mail it.
you
You
know,
can mail it.
you know,
Okay,
so yeah, so
okay, are you done, Coco?
no, no, not yet done. So
Okay, go
you
ahead.
know, Emery is I mean, yeah, I concur. It's a slow start to Aston Villa's season, and I mean, these guys have always given Aston Villa has been a thorn in Arsenal's side in the past seasons. I think every time you have to play them, you're wondering about you have to worry about them. They almost became the Tottenham under Hurricane kind of team, you know. So it's a slow start, and just give them a few more games. I'm pretty sure they'll stabilize their squad, and before they get to December,
Okay,
Aston
fair
Villa is
enough.
going to be up and competing for what they should be competing for.
Okay, so Achike, let's talk transfer window. What is the take on Aston Villa's transfer window this summer?
So yeah, Aston Villa. I mean, it's unfortunate because they just inherited the problems of chasing the dream that we saw the likes of Leeds chase. Because I think as of this summer, or was it last January window before, or the one before that, where they had to get rid of Duran or whatever it was, like their wages to turnover was like 90 something percent. You cannot be spending 90 something percent of your money on player wages. I think that's even after they sold Duran, they got in Rashford and Asensio and all that. So Emery had a really serious balancing act of trying to strengthen the squad, lose a couple of players. I mean, Jacob Ramsey went to Newcastle, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, 41 million pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a homegrown, or is it that he was there as they sold him to Middlesbrough, brought him back? I've forgotten the roundabout way,
Yeah, yeah,
but
it was a homegrown for the PSR. Wala.
yeah, or something like that. So it's kind of the situation they were dealt, and between me and you, they were like Leicester of not the title winning Leicester, Brendan Rodgers Leicester, who came, I think, fifth and fifth back to back, nearly missed out on Champions League.
Yeah.
Overachieved for 2 seasons and then believed that was their level. And I think Aston Villa's zone is they came fourth, then fifth. Was it fourth, then sixth? And then sixth now didn't get Champions League this last year or something like that. Newcastle, so because Emery will do well, they will return to,
challenging
seventh, eighth, ninth thingy. But the problem is because they were chasing the Champions League dream for 2 years, their wages to turnover ratio was 90-something percent, which is unsustainable. Hence, they had to try their best to balance things out. I mean, Sancho is a good player. Javier is a good player. They should come around a little bit. Lindelof is okay. If injuries don't decimate them, I think they'll probably steady, come their mid-table position, and then hopefully strengthen for the year after that. This is one of those years where things just have to balance. Like Newcastle of 2 years ago, after they came fourth in the season, Ten Hag came third, won a trophy, and lost FA Cup final. But people said he was rubbish, but that's another story. It's the expectations of Man U. Expectations of Man U. Newcastle qualified for Champions League, couldn't handle it, then came seventh?
Yeah, seventh.
And then didn't qualify for Europe. And then the lack of Europe last year gave them the opportunity to come fifth. And then now they're in Europe again, trying to balance it. They are currently what position are they in? I mean, I know they are under Man United, or are they above Man United? I can't remember. Because the way people have Man United, you think Man United is
they're under Man United right now.
You understand? But I haven't heard Eddie Howe's name calling to be sacked. But life is life. It's the trouble when you support the biggest club in the land. These are the things you face. Because if every manager got the scrutiny other managers get, it would, but that's why we love the game. The game is the game. Emery is a very good manager of this level of club.
Your comeback is strong, boy.
But, it's what comes with, alcohol and age.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. Everton Crystal Palace. So finally, the unbeaten streak is over. It was a very late victory for Everton. What's your take on the transition from Sean Dyche to David Moyes with Everton?
You see, Moyes, for me, he's a bit underrated. We will not call him a bit underrated. We will not call him a rock star manager because he's not the kind of guy everybody will talk about. Because I still believe today, if you have left that guy in United, if they have given him more time, and don't forget, 52.6%, I've checked that. That was his winning rate in United. I think he was, from all the 7 managers that came after Sir Alex Ferguson withdrawal syndrome, I think he's in the 4th position. Not bad. He's 4th to who? To Mourinho. What's his name? What's the other guy? Van Gaal. Even OGS. Olegun's son. What's his name? The babyface assassin. I think that was the 3rd guy.
Okay, so sorry for cutting you. Where's Ralph Arebeshola in that list?
No, Ralph, interim manager. Ralph is second to the last now. Ralph interim, 39.9%.
Oh my God.
Ralph is interim anyway, so putting him on that list is just for stats because he was just there for interim sake. So see, Moyes, that guy is being underrated. Today was in-depth game management. Because it was a tale of two halves now. First half was all over, Crystal Palace. They were in control. But the way you are able to discern a manager that knows how is somebody that can study and say, this is the issue area, and let me change it. And that was what happened. He brought in Alcaraz, he brought in Beto, and everything changed. He became more attacking. For me, that second half was all Everton. It was just, the goal was just going to come. And the way he has been managing that team, he's giving this guy the freedom. Was the Jack has the freedom now. Ndiaye is a very skillful player. See, they also have a good set of players because they are not rock stars. Their names are not out there. We're just saying, okay. But look at this man came from Man City. Let's don't forget. Jack one time was touted as one of the best midfield in England. So he's there now playing. Ndiaye has a lot to add to that team. Then look at his defensive stability. Tarkowski, King, Mikalenko,
O'Brien.
He's been, he's been known for that defensive solidity over time. For me, I
Yeah.
think that's his strength. Everybody thinks it's just all about the defense, but he's more of a complete manager. So I think Everton would do well this season. And also, they've done some very great procurements. The Jack, the Dibbling boy they brought in, all
Yeah.
those guys can add to that team. And for me, if I'm looking at Everton from a neutral point of view, it's admirations because of Moyes. I have some kind of puppy respect for him and I wish them well. And I think they will do better this season.
Okay.
Definitely.
I think Ateta learned more from Moyes.
Yes, yes,
From
100%.
Manchester standpoint, I think he learned more from Moyes than
Dan
from Moyes.
Pep,
Than
yeah.
from Pep, yes, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. So actually, let's talk Crystal Palace and their run. So they have been quite impressive in the tail of the campaign, getting good victories against that of Man City, Liverpool, and the rest. But this was inevitable. This is the Premier League. Yes, the streak is lost. But what can you say about the form, especially losing the likes of Olise and Izzy going into this
I mean,
campaign?
you see, it's one of those things where it's, go back to the good old days. I mean, like we say, formation, quality of player, this and that and that. When Olise left, I don't know if you remember, when they got Sai, I said, oh, good, they replaced him easily. One guy in the group argued with me for hours. What do I mean by easily? Da, 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 da. I had to explain that. Well, they got him in really quickly. He said, yeah, but this guy is not as good as Olise. I'm like, he doesn't have to be as good as him. He needs to fill in certain blanks, do certain things. Yeremy Pino is a fantastic young prospect. Me and you have been buying him on football
FM
manager
now,
for the
yeah.
past 8-9 years, and I'm so happy to finally see him coming through. Maybe less than 8-9 years, I don't know. Yeah. But it's one of those, because he's 23 then, and he was
Yeah.
a
Or
wonder
maybe
kid
more.
now.
Wonder
like
kid,
17,
yeah.
18,
Yeah,
17, 18,
like
wonder kid.
6
So maybe at
years.
least 5-6 years,
Yeah.
And the point is, good run of fixtures, good style of play, success in the middle of it. Because I'm sorry, 17 game unbeaten run. Yeah. Some of those games were, a lot of those games were draws. The FA Cup final was a 1-0 win, if I remember correctly, with Haaland
Yeah.
missing a penalty as well. The
No,
Community Shield,
Mamouche made the penalty.
Mamouche missed the penalty, and then the Community Shield win is counted that as well. That was a draw that they won on penalties. If they lost on penalties, it would still be unbeaten run, I guess. But they're a good side, they're a good team. They faced another good team at home who know their strengths and their weaknesses. And like you said, like my man said, like Thanos, this finger snapper said, game of two halves. Moyes is a very good manager, and people often underestimate because. So I have this friend I have from primary school, right? He's an Arsenal fan, and he always used to rate Wenger higher than Fergie. And his own argument was that apparently, in his opinion, Wenger had less tools to work with. So any achievement he did was a higher achievement. If we look at the tools Moyes has had to work with in his career, people forget that in the mid 2000s, in 2005, Moyes took Everton to 4th place.
Yeah.
That's direct Champions League qualification. No,
and lots of Forlan and Villarreal in the playoffs.
You understand what I mean? Second of all, he won Aston Villa their first. Aston Villa, West Ham their first trophy in 42 years. In 40-something years, it's not easy, and people always look at these kind of managers who have a solid defensive base as defensive. If it's like that, Arteta is the most defensive manager in the world now. Arteta's main thing is if he can do the first centre backs in the back four, he will do it. Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, Calafiori. But the point is, when you mix that with exciting attacking players, people forget our men of those days, Steven Pienaar, Tim Cahill of the Everton days, and then even in the West Ham days, he bought Kudus. People forget it's Moyes that bought Kudus, Paqueta, them, all those guys that are now exciting.
The flag boys.
Moyes is a good. They finished what people think they finished a lot lower than they did last season, but they finished 13th. If they continue to be as solid as they are, I see them top half finish. That kind of 10th, 9th. They should feel personally, they should finish to me ahead of Aston Villa. Who else? Let me look at the table. Let me look at the people I think Everton are better than at the table right now that are currently ahead of them. What am I saying? They're currently 8th. And what am I even arguing? I'm even saying they will drop. Everton are okay.
I was going to tell you they should be 8 or something.
Yeah, they're okay now because are they better than Crystal Palace overall? I think they might have a little bit more depth than Crystal Palace, a little bit, because Crystal Palace played the same starting 11 a lot more. But for example,
and they're the Conference League too, and that will take a lot from them. Like Chelsea that had two different teams.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Everton, for example, now my boy Drewsbury Hall was suspended for this game. That's how Tyler Dibbling got his first start. There's a lot more to happen. There should be a lot more. If any of those two, Beto or Barry, can start scoring, anything can happen with it.
Yeah, those guys, they are quite ruthless, man.
No,
Okay.
now, hey, that's not fair. Now, this guy's header today for the goal was very impressive. Now, for the
Alright,
Grealish goal, for the Grealish goal. Now, that was a great
no,
save. The header
that is terrible. With the kind of creativity behind it, you should expect better
behind
from
him.
him.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough,
Yeah,
fair enough.
that's my fault.
Like the same way Rasmus Højlund now is thriving off KDP's true balls. You see, no player is useless. No player is useless. You saw when I was
No
arguing in
player
the
is
group
useless.
that I didn't want Højlund to go. You're like, what do you mean he's useless? I'm like, a lot of these top strikers we bought this summer. I'm talking Gyökeres, I'm talking Sesko. If they
Yeah.
have Højlund's first season, that would be a good season. He scored what 17 goals in all competitions. People forget that. 10 league goals, 6 Champions League goals, 1 FA Cup goal. That's not a bad season. And he was 20 years old. Sesko and
Yeah.
Gyökeres are not 20 years old. They're not children.
Yeah,
But
true,
once a player has
true.
a bad season, he's useless. This football has changed, man.
Okay, so let's talk posted no clue.
Voldemort!
Posted no blue.
Posted no clue.
No, the guy has no clue right now, right? He took over the
You
job
guys are wicked.
from
You guys are wicked.
from what's his name? From Espirito Santo, right?
No.
Arsenal, he lost 3-0. He went to Swansea in the FA Cup, lost 3-2. He managed to draw with Burnley and drew with Betis. And his last 3 games were he lost to Sunderland, draw with Midtjylland in the Europa League, and he lost to Liverpool. That's 8 games played so far as a manager. No win yet.
That's what he does, mate.
Wow. So Ange has played 8 games.
Yes, actually.
Yes.
Do you know, I was
Is it
thinking
8?
it was
No,
like
that's
5 or
not fair.
6.
Isn't it like 6?
1, 2,
That
Okay,
was
wait,
like
no.
6.
And
There's
Europe
Europa
now.
League.
And Europa League.
And
games.
Europe, yeah, you're right. And Europe, mate. And Europe,
Okay,
yeah.
true.
Yeah, so my question
No,
now
but
to you. Go ahead.
4, 5, 6,
Ange,
7
Ange,
games.
you
7 games.
okay,
7.
okay. The game I saw today, I've not seen all other games he's played anyway, but the game I saw today, yeah, I saw the Arsenal one. They were never going to threaten
8 games.
Arsenal
8
anyway.
games. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So 8. I think it's still early days, and that's the dismissal of Nuno, the Nuno Maranakis thing. I still didn't understand. So right now.
Edu.
Okay, I think Edu was in the mix as well. Now, Ange, today's match, I think he was a bit more pragmatic. I'm
Yeah,
not
he changed his
saying
style.
that. I'm not saying
Formation.
that gongoism that he goes about while he was at the helms of affairs at
Tottenham.
at Tottenham. So I would want to say they should give him some time. Definitely, you have to give him some time. Just 8 games in anyway. He came to inherit players and a new team, and he would take some time to stay in his philosophy, and particularly when we
Philosophy, Van
even
Gaal.
What?
say that again.
No, as you said philosophy, I thought of Louis Van Gaal.
LVG. No, LVG from self withdrawal syndrome. I think he's top 3. So let's give him some hand. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I think
LVG
Ange
should not have
be
been
given
sacked
some
when he
time.
was sacked.
LVG too. That his sack was. I didn't even understand it. See, Man United. If we want to talk about the way they've been sacking coaches, we'll just start a new topic. So let's just park that
Yep.
because
Go ahead, bro.
I don't understand it really. So I think Ange should be given some time. He's not from the Spurs handling that he did. I'm not going to give him 8/10, but I can give him 6/10 for Spurs. Even him, I think I can give him 6. I can give him 6 because he had a philosophy. Fine, he's very open. He attacks. He plays is it the high
High
defense
line.
and
Yeah.
the high line, and it's going to take a lot for all those kind of routines for you to impact that kind of knowledge into your players. And now he's dealing with a new set of players in Forest.
Yeah.
And it looks like he even wants to change his style of play from what I'm seeing. So we need to give him some time. He has come up to say he's not even scared for a sack. I think he said something like that last week. That's even when he won, I think Spurs won something under him. Maybe they won one Europa or something. Yeah, he said even when he won Europa League, he knew he was about to get sacked, but he didn't care that he's going to show up and and do his thing. And the man knows how to speak. I always enjoy his press conference.
Mate,
And I
mate.
think
It's who we are, mate. It's who we
mate,
are.
You know, yeah.
also mate. I think he will come true. He will come true because Forest. It's just that for me, it's an anomaly for them to allow Nuno to go. That one I don't even want us to
So
discuss because
that's
Nuno
that.
brought
Yeah.
them from where? From the
Trenches.
from the trenches, my brother. That's the word. From the trenches to the limelight, and you just let him go like that. Now you're bringing a new manager to come and it's just like funny enough. The few Arsenal guys that anytime things are not going wrong, they'll say, "Hey, sack Arteta, sack Arteta." In
That's
fact, some
rubbish.
people are saying that if he doesn't win something this season, they should sack him. Anyway, let's don't even talk about that so that we don't bring up a long conversation. But I think
Yeah.
Ange will come true. He will come true. I don't think Forest. Somebody was already saying today, Forest, the way they are going, hope they will not start delving into a relegation battle. I said, no way, no. I don't. I think that team would not get to that level. So I think
Okay.
Ange will come true.
Okay, fair enough. So Coco, let's talk
Sorry,
about
sorry.
go ahead.
Let me just. I, 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 I don't. I mean, the only thing that is going to keep Angie with Forest is that maybe they are kinsmen. Maybe he comes from the same roots with the owner of Forest.
Devil League.
I think that's the only thing
Federal
because,
character, I mean.
in my
Always, baby.
opinion,
Always.
I think that's a mismatch. Given the work that Nuno did, I don't know what ever happened, but it's going to take too much. I think I don't envy Angie a lot. Is that team? That team is going to have problems as it is. Will they
Yeah.
have the the patience? Maybe because they are from the same village, to
Did they
endure with
go?
With
Postecoglou.
that
That
bad
can be the
man,
only factor.
Maranakis, or what's his name?
Exactly. I mean
Evangelinius
that can be the only factor.
Maranakis.
A more patient owner maybe, but not with this. I mean, it's going to be a total disaster. That's
Yeah,
my prediction.
yeah,
Not because
because
of the shave results, but just because of what I'm seeing.
yeah,
It's going to be a
because
total disaster.
even Charles on the chat said that Andy is on a mission to get sacked in the same season he was hired.
As quickly as possible, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, it's nice to project, but
Again.
I think
And
it's
then it's
it's
just
it's up
crazy.
against a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's look at the final game of the game week. Wolves Brighton. I actually slept when I was watching this game.
Nah, that was a
So
dull match. Ah,
yeah.
And you want to give it
that's
to me?
dull.
No, but
That was dull.
yeah, I think the one that been on bed since now.
Maybe because I'm chill. But
Nah, this game. Come
it's
on, just talk us
it's
through
what
it.
it is, man. I think we're just going to talk about the Wolves Brighton game because we just have to say something about it. But come on, Wolves should be relegated this season.
Oh my lord.
Uh, um,
Wolves are so sad to watch right now, man.
yeah, Wolves should be relegated this season. They've completely lost it. They've lost. They still have. I still see Wolves as a team that belongs to a manager that has left them and left the club that he has left them. That is how unable to transition that they have been through
Oh
managers.
my, I
So they are
swear.
completely lost. They've lost their identity. They've lost.
Can you remember that Wolves team that had Jimenez, had Jota?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh my god,
yeah.
that
Ruben
was that
it's
Neves,
like
John
Ruben Neves,
Neves,
Nuno's
John
Conor
Nuno's team, by
Cody,
the
Cody.
way.
Ah,
Yeah,
Nuno's team, Conor Cody,
Nuno's team
FPL
was
yeah,
solid.
guys. Ah,
guys, that was
yeah.
that was that
So
was the perfect team. That was the real old
yeah,
Do,
gold.
so
I don't know what to say right
Doha-
now, man.
don't forget Doherty that
yes,
Ah,
like
Doherty.
so.
Doherty.
It's just it's
it's a shame,
unfortunate,
man. It's a
We've
shame.
seen the depth of the team. As far the way I see it, they'll be my number one on the list
Yeah,
of teams to be
I
relegated.
agree. I agree with you.
Yeah,
The
Bright.
only positive for me from today's match that was so dull was that there's this new keeper they just brought in to change Sa. That guy has been doing
Johnston.
very well.
No.
Johnstone,
The
he was
first
a
had him, but
standout.
yeah, but
Yeah,
Star have been benching him. But no,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
used
Johnstone
to
was
be
a
in Crystal
standout.
Palace now before he moved to.
Where
Yep,
where is
Sam
Sa? Where
Johnston,
is Sa?
Sheffield United.
Then
Sai
Star
still
is
there.
injured. He's injured.
Sa
Okay,
is
okay,
injured,
okay.
yeah.
Maybe
Mm.
it would have been their talisman. Because it's just the last remaining. He's saved me so
Even
much money.
Wilfred Bolly is in what
Bonnie,
Nottingham Forest now. The good old
Yeah,
days.
yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
So yeah, it's crazy. Brighton is a team that they'll give you one good result today, give you a high and a low side by side.
Yeah,
So it
true.
was just it was there. It was just the ingredients were already there. They just cooked. They cooked the boring. game for and just left us to consume it. So yeah,
Okay,
just
so
because we have to say something about it.
so let's go to our surprise of the week. Typically, what we do here is that we just talk about one fixture that surprised you and you give your reason why. I will start with mine. Mine was the loss of Liverpool to Chelsea. I didn't expect them to lose this game. I know they have been in poor form, but to see them play the way they did against Chelsea was terrible. Salah was just killing vultures in the sky. Isaac, well, tried to build that assist that he did, even though that was a poor control on his own end. But seeing Liverpool get this loss was a surprise to me. So, Jide, what's your surprise of the week?
It's still Chelsea Liverpool, really. And I admire, there's somebody I'm starting to admire and I'm becoming a fan. Yeah, I think they paid, is it 115 million for him? What's his name
Caicedo.
again?
Woo!
Caicedo.
Is it Caicedo? That
Anyway,
guy,
however,
it's
no.
I'm becoming if I he has a new fan right now because the way he tackles, the way he controls, he's also a ball carrier. So you when you have a defensive midfielder that can tackle, that can control the game and can carry, and now he's taking those shots from outside. I think he's scored 3 goals already. This
Yeah,
game week 7, 3 goals. When he was in Brighton, when he was being touted as one of the best DMs, I don't think he scored goals like this. Maybe he scored one. He
yeah,
scored
yeah.
3 already in this
A
season.
handful,
And the
yeah.
way he's starting to control, the nucleus of a team is the midfield. For if you have somebody like that now that is starting to control that midfield, it's very exciting days for them, and I think that was a surprise player for me. I'm starting to see that he's making that team tick in the middle, and for them to also come in and score that last because they kept pushing. They were pushing till
Yeah.
the last minute, and it was a surprise. That's my surprise of the week. Surprise player and surprise team for the week. Chelsea, really.
Okay, thanks, Jide. Coco, what about you?
Oh well, I mean Chelsea Liverpool is a highlight result, but let's not forget that Chelsea is playing at home and Liverpool is on a total. I think I would go for the Everton Crystal Palace game because as much as we
Yeah.
know how the strength of the Moyes, Crystal Palace have been on a high. I mean, they just were rather like maybe false starts because, like Achike said, a couple of draws or more draws than none. But I think we're expecting a Crystal Palace upset against Everton. And
Yeah, and they
so
will scored first.
yeah, so it was going according to script, but Moyes
Moist
dug deep,
change the scripts.
exactly. He dug deep and he came out with the goods. So yeah, I think the Everton Crystal Palace. I think I even switched off because I was on my FPL team. I had Grealish and I was conflicted. So I flipped off. I came back. I saw Grealish had scored a goal. I was like, oh wow, that Everton was able to come back from the Crystal Palace that had scored in the first half. I mean that I've just finished beating Liverpool in a fantastic way, manner.
Yeah,
I think that
and
was the surprise fixture
yeah, I kind of like that game. In my
for
FPL, I
me.
had
Yeah.
both Munoz and Ndiaye, and two of them cooked. So that worked for
Oh
me.
wow.
Mm.
Okay, I think, well, although I've seen the Kene good though, but
But
just in case.
yeah, funny
Yeah.
enough,
So yeah.
Coco. I wish
Yeah.
if we had spoken before. Obviously, I'm still waiting for my Muscovy Bravaja. But if we had spoken before, why that game was not on my surprise radar is that we forget that Crystal Palace flew to Ukraine on Thursday.
Yeah,
People are
for
forgetting they're in
Oh.
Europe. People are forgetting they're in
Mm.
Europe.
Man, I
Nottingham
need to
Forest
call
too.
you. I need to call
People
you
are forgetting because
pre-game week
yeah,
every this thing too.
on a prediction, another prediction game I'm playing elsewhere, I put it as an Everton win. And somebody was like, but Palace the cook. I'm like, yeah, but they traveled to play Dynamo Kiev on
yeah, they will be
Thursday.
yeah, on Thursday
You see, these
actually.
are the
So they
things
might
we
be
don't.
tired. Yeah,
These are
yeah,
these are
that's
the things
something we
that they.
forget. And at the same lineup, mostly the
Exactly
same
the same
actions are
lineup,
now.
bro. Exactly the
Well,
same
yeah,
lineup.
yeah. No, the only person that didn't start that day was Sa. Sa was rested on
For
Thursday
for for, for Kamada.
for Kamada, but Kamada now started in midfield today. So always be remembering some of those guys are now in Europe. So their post-Europe games go there a bit tricky.
Okay, but another change was Bonasosa. He played on the left instead of
Yeah,
Khalid
yeah. But I'm just
Mitchell.
saying that's why I had Everton because Everton with a whole week's rest, I felt I did basically Everton at home plus the week's rest and Crystal Palace playing in around
Yeah, you
Ukraine
have a
side.
point.
I wasn't fully on Crystal Palace. I was very happy to put an Everton win down as a thing. So my surprise of the week was not the full game itself, was as of watching the game and as of halftime, that Bournemouth v Fulham, that 4 goals were scored in that second half blew my mind. It blew my even more surprising is that Bournemouth came back to win 3-1 from that 1-0 down. Because I was really like, whoa. So that was my overall surprise of the week. I had that game as either a high scoring game in the first half or as that first half ended 0-0. That would be the end of the game. Dead it. It was quite interesting to watch.
You know, with that Bournemouth Fulham game, it was if you had watched the game at the time, Bournemouth was able to get 2-1
Yeah.
up. I felt it would end 3-1 because typically Fulham will push everything once
They'll
you get
push
the goal.
through, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Right?
And they hit on the break.
Yeah, but as of the time it was 1-0. To think Bournemouth to score 3 goals.
It's a difficult.
That's Semenyo's first goal. And then Clivert's goal too.
What the hell was that, man? That was a monster booty, man. Like
Semenyo's goal was just it was refreshing. It reminds me of Kanu against
Chelsea.
Yeah, the audacity of it, the game was boring. Everything was like, everything was cancelled out. Then
they go down. Just say, let me just take the game into my hands.
And don't forget, it was also raining heavily. So you can
the conditions. Yeah,
the conditions were
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Clivert is a player that everyone should begin to. I mean, it's going to be. The way he is, I think, is going to go back. He's going to be one of the players that you should.
But my issue is that he doesn't seem to
start anymore. Doesn't start games anymore.
So, no, it's fitness. It's fit. I think
that's why it's okay. I guess so. It's so scary.
They are playing him back into fitness. But I think it's right there. He'll probably start the next game.
Okay, so speaking of fitness, let's look at the injury watch. And in game week 7, we had a couple of injuries. Martin Odegaard, we had Declan Rice, we had Mattis Tel, we had Josh Achimpong, Emi Bundia, Badiashile, and Yamulu. So what I do here in this session is to talk to my panelists for them to pick up who would impact his team the most if the person is out injured. So probably let me start with you.
Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, Arsenal. Arsenal is bubbling right now. I don't think there will be any much impact, even though we still miss them. Mattis Tel, I think he just got into the first team, by the way. So they still have Richarlison and Kolo and some other guys in there. But Chelsea, Achampong and Badiashile, this is their defensive players, and they've been lacking there. They've lost Tosin, they've lost the other guy, Kowe at the beginning of the season, Fofana. Yeah. So I'm a bit skeptical, right? But it's just that Chelsea is like as if they just pull out players from the basket. That's another. I think they just have so much to deal with, and they can turn it around because you still have Gusto, you still have the captain, they still have players that can fill in here. So I doubt it. I don't think they would be impacted. Emi Buendia was just coming in for Villa. I think he was starting to look refreshing in that team. Buendia was somebody that I used to admire, but injury has taken him off now. I used to admire him then when he was in Norwich. So I think it's bad news for Villa because it looked like he was becoming refreshing, coming back again, and they can do with that kind of player in the midfield. Yamoluk, which team? Which team does he play for?
He's a DM for Brentford.
Oh, Brentford. Brentford is Brentford right now. Coming for a new manager, they are still trying to settle. I think any player now will impact them. Even right now, you can see that from today's game. I think second half they showed what they could do because City 1-0. Everybody thought that game was going to be like a blow-off, maybe like 4-3, but they changed it. So I think they are still holding down their team, coming back from all the losses they have in terms of players that they've sold, coaches and all that. I think they are standing tall for their level. For their level, I don't still think you can come out and say they are relegation candidates right now for what I've seen. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Coco?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty. I mean, this is lightweight. Arsenal, like Baba said, is I mean, Odegaard and Declan Rice. I would say Declan Rice. You know, based on the fact that
No, don't
Matistel,
forget about Rice. He's been
okay,
cleared. He's
he's
been
been
cleared.
cleared. I was going to
It's a
say
small
that
injury. Yeah, he has reported for
it's small.
England
Okay,
duty.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
yeah, because I think Arsenal need that guy. Nonetheless,
Okay.
he's very versatile and he's very impactful. Odegaard has adequate cover. In fact, I mean, I would still. I mean, let's put Odegaard on that pedestal because of what we saw he was going to be able to do. Let's not forget that um, what's his name? He's
Is
a
it?
DM. No, not
Oh,
even
sorry.
easy.
Sorry.
The guy that came
Wanere.
before him.
Wanere.
No, Wanere is too inexperienced, to come in and
Norgard, plenty people, plenty. Norgard, Merino,
yeah,
Zubimendi, una get
yeah,
plenty, no problem.
Oh, yeah, Zubi.
you know.
No problem.
Zubi Mendy, thank you. See, there's were so many we're forgetting names.
You have forgotten some. It's not easy.
You
Hey,
know,
hey, hey,
Nogard has
God
not even
when,
played,
God
though.
when,
it's
I said
amazing.
God
Nogard has
when.
not even played, Nogard, you see, Nogard
You
is
know,
Brentford captain last season, and he
yeah,
was all over the pitch. He's somebody that
yeah.
changes game. He's very dogged. He has
He used
not
to come
played
up
at
with goals
all.
now.
So I
And
think
this
Arsenal
this
is
time,
covered
So
this season.
so
Arsenal is very
let's shift.
covered by the blood of
Let's
Jesus. The league is
yeah,
theirs to
you
lose.
know. Let's shift to Matistel. Matistel is he was barely there, so he came and he left. And I think they still have the same problems that they have. Uh, I'll be more worried for the for the guys at Chile and Chimpong because they were meant to come in for other players that
Yeah.
were shaky. So we'll look at the Chelsea defense line, as a more of a blow because I believe that. I mean, yeah, they do pull players out of the hat. I don't know which name is going to come up next week after the break, but
I'm telling you, Chelsea, they just pull
they
out
just
players. You don't
they
know,
just
you don't know where those players are
you know
coming from. Because
it's
I have
ridiculous.
never heard about this Achampong until this
I
season
mean,
when he played that first game he played. And me, I was
yeah,
like, who is this guy? He was even looking like the central guy. I was like, I was like, Tosin doesn't need to come back because this Achampong, the
yeah,
way he played that day, I was like, So Chelsea, they are just pulling out players
yeah.
from the heart. So they're just pulling out players.
So
That's
I
what
think
they
the
are doing
question
now.
is why would they get so much injuries? Like what's going on?
No, no, no. That is crazy, man.
What's the conditioning that is going on around the Chelsea camp? Why can't they have a steady? Because
Like,
Chelsea is a pretty good team.
yeah,
But
I agree.
no team can be that good if you don't have consistent players playing week in, week out, you
True,
know,
true.
cementing their places in. So what's up with that, But nonetheless, I think those two, any of these two names that are missing from the Chelsea backline as injuries, and I think they're pretty serious injuries. So
Yeah.
we're going to know very soon. But I think that's the aspect. Emi Buendia I think he's always he gets injured a lot. So um, pretty good player, solid from Norwich days. Even is Aston Villa is different when he plays, but I think they have some cover for him. Yamaluka, I don't know who that guy is, but I've seen the name. Until you guys revealed it was a Brentford player, I would have put in as a Leeds player or something.
Yamol-
Yeah,
Yamolenko.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Achike, what about you?
Okay, so first of all, I mean, like we've agreed, I
Rice is
would have
out.
said that Martin Odegaard, but you have Eze Waneri that can complement there, so it's not as bad. Rice is not as bad as he wants. I will also take this, opportunity to remind Coco about my Mosque Ravager at number one. Number two, when I was telling Arsenal to buy Declan Rice, Coco, I would like you in front of the whole world,
Oh, bro.
the whole internet to admit now that when I was singing the praises of Declan Bobo, when I told you that 100 million it's even a little. because that boy is
Rice,
a dog.
rice,
He's the
baby.
closest.
I can't
He's
forget
the
that. I can't forget
closest
that. You put me
closest
right.
to Steven Gerrard, in my
Yeah,
opinion,
you
in the
put me
Premier
right.
League in a
And
while. I love
I
that
mean,
boy. I mean, he plays for Arsenal now, so.
I put it that you're a professional coming in where you're amateur. So
Hey, stop it,
that's
stop
the
it.
drawback.
Forget this now, wash
Drawback.
my perfume. This now wash, make I forget my perfume. See this guy. But yeah, so Declan Rice is
Yeah.
from what I saw now, he's fit. He's going to England squad. That's okay. Matthias Tel, they have a lot of options out wide, and up front, Ray Charlison is the preferred one anyone. Achempong, there's people around. It's just they'll find a way. Badashile, they'll find a way. And with Buendia, he was not yet really starting, so I can't put it. So it's Yamaluk for me, because Yamaluk, since the start of the season, he started every Brentford game in the league and everything. So I think he's the one that will have an impact the most. Sorry, excuse me. He's the one that took, I think, the role that Norgard would have been playing. So he's the most important to his team out of all these players. I'm not saying he's the best, but he's the one that I'm not sure. Is Frank Onyeka? Is it Onyeka? That's his name now. That comes in for him. When they're already winning the game and all that. So I think he's the one that might affect his team the most.
Okay.
So what happened to Onyeka though? What happened to Onyeka? Because
Yamaluk and Norgard are better than him now.
And he just more like a squad player, pretty much.
Yeah, no, he has been coming on. Onyeka has been coming on regularly. Like even against United, he came on for Yamaluk. I think the game before that, he came on for Yamaluk as well. And yeah, so they're just trying to get Yamaluk in. But so I think based on people who have been playing for their team regularly, he's the one that I think is the most.
So Onyeka, Man City 17 minutes, Man U 9 minutes, Fulham bench, Aston Villa 19 minutes, Chelsea
So
bench.
who?
Onyeka.
Yamaluk. Okay, I
Onyeka.
Yamaluk. I was about to say Yamaluk plays. Yeah.
No, yes, Onyeka. So because those performances from Yamaluk, that's why Onyeka doesn't really have much.
I mean Yamaluk, Man City 79, Man United 90, Fulham 90, Aston Villa 45, Chelsea 90.
has to be Yamaluk.
Okay.
So that has to be the name.
Yam come they look.
So let's go to our players of the week. So there are 3 players that have singled out, and we'll just talk through them real quick. So the first one obviously is Antoine Semenyo, 2 goals and 1 assist against Fulham. I'm sure Coco really loved this signing with him, having 36 points in his FPL team.
Semenyo.
But since he has stepped out, let's just really talk about him. But today, what's your take on him so far?
He is the shining star right now. They need to keep him fit because he's starting to look like what Mbumo was last season for Brentford. When a player make things happen from nothing, and clearly he's their penalty taker right now. He's been doing it fantastically. He can take shots. He can carry the ball. He's strong. He's everything you want for an attacking midfielder now.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
You need him. You need him to stay the course.
Yeah. Achike.
I mean, he's from Ghana, so I'm not going to say too much about him. I'm just playing. No, he's a good player. He's becoming as the North Americans would say, the franchise player, doing what he needs to do. That first goal was literally I'm going to take this game by the scruff of the neck and do what I need to do for my team. And the boy is doing this thing. I'm very ashamed. I only have him in one of my FPL teams. So, I mean, I don't have him in my FPL team. So,
wow.
That needs to change. Yeah, he's on 7.9 now. I didn't Another Ghana. Come on, bro. Another Ghana. Oh.
No. But this week they cooked now. Come on.
Another brother.
No, kudos. He's already been like one of the most influential sports players in recent times, and he's actually now coming up to speed. With that. And the final person we'll just talk about here is a player that people don't really talk about so much.
It's crazy. Yeah, no. So I've liked Malin a lot from like his Dortmund days because, as you know now, Dortmund is my German team. And then people forget that he was outright bought last January.
In January, yes.
Rashford and Asensio that came on loan. And the fact that he hasn't been getting as much a look in, I was surprised. But, he's a good player. He's one of those players that I think he's like his floor is quite high, but his ceiling is high. But then he's always in between. He has really good games and then average games and then really good games.
But
this week was very good.
Yeah, but I was surprised with the fact that during preseason he was actually cooking. He was actually scoring a
Yeah,
few goals.
he was, but I don't know what it is, why he didn't
Even
get the what he needed at
even
the start of
last
the season.
season, anytime he comes in, he impacts the
Yes,
game,
yes,
So I don't know what's happening in that camp. Me, I've not seen him that much, but last season, anytime he comes in, he was impacting the game. Look at the way he took his goals this week. So I the way it is now, maybe Emery will start to change his mind on the guy because he needs to change something. When you're having a slow start for a manager, you need to now start thinking out of the box.
yeah,
What can I change? I think that's what he's done today because I don't think I've seen this guy play since the beginning of the season full match. I think he started today's match.
yeah. He started today's
So
game. Prior to
he
that
started
one was
today's match. So
just 19 of the sub. They were playing sub games all this while.
he's been playing sub. So I think Una is thinking out of the box and he got it right this week because this guy did very well, and I think he's going to change Unai's mind now. Maybe the next game, definitely, because if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. If you bring this kind of guy in and he's coming to shine with brace today, why should you keep him out the next match? I don't know.
Yeah, because even the guy they signed from Nice, Gressand, the guy hasn't really
Yeah.
lived up to expectations yet.
Yeah, he has
Clearly.
not. He has not. He has
Yeah.
not. So
Okay, so let's look at this final second to the last section of today's video, which is the Premier League table. In the bottom half, we have Wolves at the bottom with West Ham and Burnley. I strongly believe that Wolves, Burnley, and potentially West Ham might relegate. But now that Nuno is there, I think I'll change my mind about West Ham. But initially, when you see Graham Potter, I was certain that it's going to be Wolves, Burnley, and West Ham. But this is just 7 games into the season. So what I usually do here, that I ask my panelists to look at this list and see the teams that will go to the top half. So I'll start with you, Achike.
Teams that should be in the top half if all goes according to plan. Newcastle, that's maybe Villa. That's about it. Brighton and transition. Newcastle and Villa, maybe. Of this top half I'm looking here, probably only Newcastle.
Okay. Gide.
yeah, obviously Newcastle. Yeah, they're having a slow start too, but the team has been doing very well. So they have a new striker.
Lord
Oh,
Voldemort.
is it,
I
was it,
told people,
I don't even
I
know.
told people about that guy. You know,
I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Is it Walter Madi or something?
just call him Voldemort, man.
Volte. I think there
About-
was there was a jibe this week when is it Rummenigge came and said
yes, now don't
uh,
mind him.
that Stuttgart were lucky
Yeah,
to
To
get
find
the
a fool.
90 million.
a fool
To
that
find
could
a
buy
fool.
him. Yeah,
Fuller. I think
that
that
was
was
so
just jibes,
unprofessional.
really.
That was just
Yeah, it's
BS.
just jibes because the
Yeah.
guy is doing well anyway. He's scored three straight home games, and he has cover. Everybody is playing for him the way they are
Yeah.
doing it right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. But
Yeah,
but do you think when Wisa is fit, he will start ahead of him?
no,
Yes.
you start ahead of Wissal. In my opinion,
Well.
you start ahead of Wissal. You start.
Okay.
I think Newcastle will leave here.
Okay.
Newcastle will leave. Then Aston Villa will leave this and come to the that two. I think I can call.
Okay. So let's look at the top half. What are the things that will come down, Achike?
Remember, it's only Sunderland from here to replace Newcastle, Northeast rivals.
What about Man United?
Whether Man United will drop,
Uh-huh.
anything can happen.
Okay. Today, what about you?
No, funny enough, it's only Sunderland I can call. Yeah, really. Because these other nine, I feel they will get stronger.
I mean,
They will
don't
all
get me
get
wrong.
stronger. So
Bournemouth are going to drop to the lower half of the top half, but I think they should still have enough to be in the top half. That's it.
Okay.
Sunderland will drop from the top half. Bournemouth will drop to that 10th, and then Newcastle will be 9th, and then the rest will mix themselves. Okay, no, maybe Everton will be 9th, and then the rest will mix amongst themselves.
Okay, so we'll go to the final section of today's video where we talk about our predictions for game week 8.
Ooh, let me look
You
at
know,
this.
for those that are good in their prediction, they've been winning money in 042 right now. But
I'm telling you, I should have joined that thing.
okay, so Babajide, Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest, Chelsea.
I'm not very good in predictions anyway, but I'll just call it. I'll say 3-1. Chelsea 3, Forest 1.
Achike.
Please, can we not be a peasant? Use it according to the fixture. If you say 3, say 1-3, please.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
1-3.
Thank
Yeah,
you very much. Please
1-3.
stop it. Don't snap your finger, please. I don't want to be among the team.
1-3.
I will go with 1-2.
Brighton Newcastle, Babajide.
1-2.
Achike.
That was what was on my mind. I don't want it to be like I'm copying Thanos now. Wow.
No, you can go ahead and
Okay,
say
that's
this
it.
thing.
No, I don't want to go. I will also go 1-1. Please be writing this down so we can see in the future.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Babajide, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth.
No, Burnley leads now. Wow.
Burnley leads.
Sorry, Burnley Leeds.
Right.
My bad.
When you're bold, you're bold.
Burnley leads 1-1.
Okay, Achike.
Similar scoreline. I would go close game, but actually no. I think it'll be a high scoring game. I can see something like 2-3.
Okay, so Coco, welcome back. Where we are in the video right now is when we talk about our
Coco went to order my perfume. God is good.
Yeah, so I will call the fixture and you just give us a prediction. If I say Nottingham Forest Chelsea, you just say 1-2 or 2-1, but the home team first, the away team next. So you need to catch up with Achike and Njide. Nottingham Forest Chelsea.
1-2.
That's the same thing all of us said. Look at Coco. He was spying on us. He was spying on us from outside.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Brighton Newcastle.
Coco.
2-1.
Which way now? Brighton Newcastle 2-1, right? Okay.
2-1. Yes.
Okay, so now for you to catch up with them now, Burnley Leeds.
0-2.
Okay, so now Babajide, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth.
2-2.
Achike.
0-2.
Coco.
Jesus.
Otimbo.
1-2.
Man City, Everton, Babajide.
1-1.
Achike.
3-1.
Coco.
4-1.
Sunderland, Wolves, Babajide.
2-1.
Achike.
0-1.
Coco.
2-0.
Fulham, Arsenal, Babajide.
0-2.
Achike.
2-2.
Coco.
That is just it. That is pure.
It's not.
Fulham, Arsenal.
Yes,
I'll go for 1-3. So Fulham at home, right? Arsenal away.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I was looking at.
You see.
Fulham, Arsenal. Sorry.
Last year we lost there.
Thank you.
I know.
Improved. I say you would draw. I even improved. They say na beef.
It's going to be 1-2.
Okay. Babajide, Tottenham, Aston Villa.
That looks like a high-scoring game. I'll say 1-2.
Achike.
2-2.
Coco.
3-2.
Liverpool, Man United, Babajide.
1-2.
Achike.
1-1.
Coco.
Man, you beat Liverpool now.
That's what
surprise package.
That's what Babajide said. You guys are forming on what you want, as opposed to what you believe.
Man, you beat Liverpool now. It's going to be 1-2.
Awesome.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Then the final fixture of the game week: West Ham, Brentford. Babajide.
1-1.
Achike.
3-1 to West Ham.
Coco.
3-1. West Ham Brentford will get the goal. West Ham they have it. 3-1.
Awesome.
Bowen brace.
Awesome. So we need to get by Bowen then. So
Not true. Okay, check out.
so this brings us to the end of today's video. I'm so delighted to have my guys here, Babajide, Achike,
Who's
Coco.
your guy?
Thank you for being part of today's channel. So as always, I always feel like my panelists to give their parting comments, which I gave his because we wanted to leave a bit earlier. So Babajide, parting comment on the game week.
Okay, Arsenal, please continue the consistency. The whole
Mhm.
world thinks you're going to take it. You have to continue to show and prove it. That is yours to lose. Everything surprise package so far is quite refreshing for the EPL. City jealously, or let me say, I don't want to be a neutral. I don't want them to get it right yet. Let them continue to struggle with our rebirth. Because I don't think Alan would continue to carry them, and they would go through it. It's going to start becoming a bit daunting at some point. United, I don't know. I think I have some empathy for the Rockstar manager. They should not kill that guy. They should give him some time. And but even if we look at the data, I don't think they've been that bad from what the position is showing. And and what Akike said, fixtures too has not been that good, and fixtures will change. Fixtures will change. So I think they should cut him some slack. Chelsea need to slow down. I don't like their trajectory. I don't like that ascendancy. They need to slow down because I don't understand that thing, really. I want to tell you, it's a very funny thing. They need to slow down. Hopefully, they will slow down because the way they just pull things out and they are just turning to something else. So I think I want Chelsea to slow down. What else? Which other team I've not mentioned? Liverpool, 3 consecutive losses. The jury is out for the slots. I think the jury is out. He's going to prove his mettle. For me, last season was he came, he saw, he conquered. He just picked them up, enhanced, moved on. Now he needs to make the team gel. That's what he needs to do the coaching now. So honest Lord, the jury is out for him. And I think finally I would like to speak on Nuno. I admire Nuno from the time of Wolves, what he has done at Nottingham Forest, and I hope he's able to turn things around in West Ham. That will be my parting shot.
Thank you, bro. Coco.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, thankfully for us now, we were I think the most complete team in the league. No reason they shouldn't be pushing on. um, we've played tough fixtures, so good to go. Manchester City, I predicted 4-1 for them against Everton. I think I was a bit excited. I think Everton is a solid team. Rodri is injured again, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot to add that.
Yeah,
That's true.
he's
Yeah, Rodri
injured.
is
Yeah,
injured again. So
he's injured.
they, Babajide, your wish probably will come true because
It
somehow
will
they've not
come
really
true.
been able to
Mm.
get that fulcrum, that pivot that Rodri's presence gives them.
Yeah, but,
You
but
know,
I thought they had
so
Nico Gonzalez.
they're still. I mean, City is a team that is. I think since Pep the divorce thing, I think it messed with his head a lot because I mean all those players that came in, they've recruited or City recruited and not been able to really get that balance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for my FPL, because I had what's his name, I had some of their players and they messed me up this time around. But yeah, Liverpool will lose to Manchester United. That's four off the bounce. But they will come. They would find something going for themselves. I mean, I they from the beginning of the season, I think I was having a discussion with someone the other day. They have you can't be to be able to persistently get lucky. I mean, some you make your own luck, right? But they played teams that other teams, City, Arsenal, would probably have gone through from the beginning of the season, and they're finding themselves at the looking for winners at the late into the game. This was Arsenal a few seasons ago, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know where that's going to go with them, but the next few 5 game weeks would probably give us more insight onto the Liverpool agenda. And with Babajide on no no no, he didn't deserve what he got with the work he did with Nottingham Forest. So and I think he will make West Ham. He'll come good with West Ham. Really, I just hope he finds a place that they will appreciate him. I mean, you would think that would have been Wolves with the Portuguese background, right?
Oh
But
no, that's not fair now, Coco. That's not fair. That's not fair. The Wolves
what
project had gotten to the end of where it got to. It was a mutual
it,
party. They didn't sack him. His contract ended. He left. It
it
was fair.
ended. Okay,
I think that was yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
but
fair point. But I
he
think
now went to Tottenham afterwards.
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't he have like 2 stints at Wolves? Am I wrong?
No,
Or
no, just one. Then he went to
just
Just
one?
one.
Spurs.
Okay.
He
Then
went
he
to
won his first
Spurs.
3 games, so one manager of the month, but things went downhill from there.
And
Because
that's
it was
why.
their
Oh
sixth.
wow.
It was their sixth choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you is a very likable, manager. You feel his ethos running through the veins of any club in
Yeah,
Marshall. So yeah.
I like it to know he's also bound. I know the bound brothers we look out for each other.
If only I was,
You
if
know,
only, if only I was as bold as people think I am. Life would have been good for me.
we just we just have a big forehead. That's what some of us do.
Hey,
So
that's all. No, it has been
yeah,
like this hairline since I was in nursery school.
just have it. That's all.
When
That
no, my
I
issue is
mean,
that when it's on Rihanna, he's cute. When it's on me, it's not cute.
exactly. So don't worry, we know. But yeah, Chelsea. I mean, the season is. Some seasons, when seasons, there's some seasons you would already know what's going to happen from the beginning. Okay, this season everybody feels Arsenal should be there. I don't want to talk too much about it, but who's going to come into the second, third, fourth spot? City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United. I think that was just to make you feel good. But but I think Amorim is finally going to turn a corner with United, right? I think they recruited right. So definitely, Sesko is a very good striker. I mean, it took Henry how many games to settle in. I think Henry did not have the first 10 games was people
Yeah,
were wondering who he was really.
that's
So
why I said what I said. He too had 0010 or something, 00
yeah,
12.
I mean, it's United will probably be a difficult team to beat at home as sooner than later. And then the season, and United is the team that even though you don't want them to do well, you want them to do well because they are part of the the heritage of the Premier League, right? So if United is doing well, there's more balance. There's more balance in the Premier League. So let's say, I mean, I miss those good old days, Arsenal United, you know, uh, dugouts,
Man
fights.
United 8, Arsenal 2.
It was so refreshing when I saw Haaland, the humble moment. I felt like someone trying to spark up some kind of, like,
Yeah.
we're not seeing rivalries
Phil
in the
Neville
Premier
on
League
Reyes.
anymore.
Phil Neville on Reyes.
You know,
Roy Keane on Vieira. Vieira on Roy
Vieira,
Keane.
Vieira, Roy Keane.
Love it.
I mean, even Fabregas through what is it, Pisa?
Pizza on the both
Imagine,
sides.
imagine Fabregas. So those
Pizza
days,
Gates.
yeah, we want those
Move on,
days to
move
come
on,
back.
move on
You
and
know,
adapt. Move on and
Yeah.
adapt.
you know.
He's calling us old men. Shame on him.
So we hope those days come because I absolutely hate seeing a City United game and then everybody's hugging and shaking hands. Arsenal,
I
Chelsea,
mean, a whole
Arsenal,
Man U Man City.
United.
Gary Neville no
I mean,
acknowledge Peter Schmeichel. Look at him. Look, I don't touch.
yeah, so yeah, so yeah, the cocktails are there, for an exciting season. Is it the relegation dogfight? What are we? We're pushing some teams into places where they shouldn't be. you know, and Newcastle. I'm interested. I want to see what they're going to do with their plight, because a team that the richest team in the league, right? But they
You
couldn't
can
keep
Yeah,
spend.
with
Isak.
the richest owners, but can't spend. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because but
they
they
couldn't
have
keep
money.
Isak.
Yeah.
They're in Champions League. What to do? Are they? Is it going to be a turning point? Are we going to? Do we have the bet of a villain in
You know,
Premier League?
I
Are they
feel
going
like
to
Honestly,
go all
and
guns
even
out? You know,
and even with the money, they couldn't buy Mbuemo, they couldn't buy Joao Pedro, they couldn't
it
no,
buy
no,
was
no.
difficult.
Sheshko.
That's unfair. It's not that they couldn't buy. Those players chose to go elsewhere for different reasons.
No, no, that's my point now. That's my point. We're in the
Yeah,
Champions
but
League. You're
but
in
you
the
have to look at
Champions
this
League.
thing. You're in Champions League for one season, right?
Sheshko went to Man
Wait,
U.
yes,
That's crazy.
because Manchester United are a bigger club than Newcastle. Even if Newcastle are in the Champions League for 1 year, for example, now use João Pedro as an example. You have lived in Brighton. Brighton is by the beach. It's sunny. It's nice. You now consider it. Oh yes, Newcastle are in Champions League. I move up to the northeast. I have to be there for 5 years, whether I like it or not. I need to consider my family. That's why I want to raise my family, as opposed to London. His
Hmm.
wife too. You guys are married guys. You know how it is now. Wife is say, babe, I don't want to go to the northeast. I rather live in London where I can be going to fashion
Yeah.
shows and all that. We have to forget that these people have lives. Like when people say no, it must be because man is throwing money around and everything. No,
Yeah.
it might also be because he's like Newcastle are doing well now, but I'm not going to sign a 1 year contract now. I'm signing a 5 year contract. Where would I think I would be better to
Okay.
stay for my family and heritage for five
Okay. So,
years?
so, so how do you now
Yeah.
explain Google Eketike? Same issue.
Good. No, it could be anything. That's the thing. It could be any reason. It could be like Newcastle. When I was growing up, might not have heard of Newcastle. He's a young boy
He's a
now,
young guy.
42 years. So for the most of
Yeah.
his life, Newcastle might have been in second division and all that. And he's wondering,
Mm.
like, I might as well just go to Liverpool. They're the reigning champions. They're a big club. My Popsy might have been a Liverpool fan in the 80s, telling me, come, you better go to Liverpool. Are you foolish?
Okay.
Yeah. Someone called and said, pick
Yeah.
Liverpool. But you get a
I,
feeling like Kitike may have done better at Newcastle.
Yeah, no, he may, but he might be looking at his future. Like,
Future.
yes,
Yeah.
this 1 year, Newcastle might be the best place for me. But over the next 5 years, do I think, because forget your personal biases or maybe include
Hmm.
them. Apart from, let me reluctantly say it, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, yeah. You can't say there's any club that is ever, for any reason, more attractive than Man United at any point in time. If Man United are 17th, yeah, they are still more attractive than 15 of the other Premier League clubs. Let's call a spade a spade. They're the biggest club in the land. They have more money. Like if you're not going to Arsenal, Man City, or Liverpool, for example, why would you go anywhere else? That's what that this year they finished ahead of Man U. Might as well go to Everton now. If you're going to use who finished highest on the table, then every year
Yeah.
who you can go to will change. But
Yeah.
you're signing
That's
a
the
contract
truth.
for 5 years.
Plus, man, you can pay the money that nobody else can pay.
They're
You have
magas
it.
now.
Yeah, why can they pay the money now? Because they are the bigger club, biggest
Of
stadium,
course. Of course.
worldwide recognition, fans, your endorsement deals. You have to look at it
The
historically.
heritage, everything.
Because
Everything
a lot
works.
of times we forget that these people are planning their life career. They're like, bro, or the biggest one that people always say,
So,
if you are the manager who now becomes the new manager who brought Man U out of the doldrums,
mm.
you be the most popular manager in the world. Think of the next manager that wins the league with Man U. Just imagine it.
So,
Imagine if that manager will come as Man U, don't drop, come win league. Or Eric Cantona. People said Matteo Esconia came because he wants to be the new Eric Cantona. People forget Man U had not won the league for
so,
26 years.
so doesn't this beg the question? What does a Newcastle have to do?
so
And this is, I wish we had time for this topic. It's very interesting here because Newcastle don't realize, right? Or they didn't realize the way they acted this transfer window. They were
Yeah.
upset that Isak wanted a step up because of their wealth.
Hmm.
They,
Yeah.
with due respect, I love the Geordies, big club, one city club, and everything. They forgot their place in the totem pole.
Yeah.
Let's call it a spade a spade. In other leagues, these hierarchies are way more well defined than in England, where
Yeah.
billionaire owners come and buy different clubs. There's no timing on earth, and Frankfurt will feel that they can hold a player from Bayern Munich. Even Dortmund can never feel they can hold a player from Munich. Their plan is just to get the best deal.
Mm.
I don't know if you understand what I mean. Now,
Yeah.
while I supported Newcastle's stance, right, their stance was as rigid as it was because their owners felt the pride of, we has money, I has money, you has money. Who are
Yes,
you
no.
to me anyhow?
Yes,
But
no.
no player, with all due respect, except that, like Alan Shearer, would not have gone to Newcastle if he had not already won that league title with Blackburn. That is a fact.
Blackburn, yeah.
Even he has said it
Because
himself.
Yeah.
That
even another thing to note, if you remember, Mbappe in PSG, with all the 1.5 billion whatever they were giving him, when Madrid came calling,
yeah,
was
his
like,
mind was,
listen,
yes,
I
I know
want
it's
that,
PSG, I know it's PSG,
right?
I know it's PSG. Yes, we're the best in France, but they get
Yeah.
guys way bigger than me. As me that I want to be a world star. It's not in PSG I will be a world star because people they yab Neymar say in drop from Barca to PSG, a whole PSG. But you know
Yes,
your
yes,
respect, and it's upset because in other leagues, people know. I mean, and I don't want to sound elitist. They are placed in it. Newcastle are a big club. They're a massive club. That's not the argument and everything. But they are not in the elite. So if your star player
yeah,
wants to go to an elite club, you can't vex. What you need to do is
Yeah.
try and
You
get the
can't be
best
angry.
deal they can get, which they got
Yeah.
eventually, but they now overpaid for Voldemort. Because
They overpaid for what?
if they had agreed in their head early on that Isak would go, they for done they signed those deals while Isak was still there,
Yeah.
while it was not fully obvious yet that he was going, and they might have saved
yeah,
themselves some money.
But
Like
with
Spurs
But
now.
the
I'll just
When
like
Spurs,
I'd like to defy a bit, and guys, I think the
look, yeah,
strategy. Sorry, let me just quickly chip in.
yeah.
I think the strategy of that that procurement when the Saudi government took over Newcastle, I think the strategy could be better. Let me use that word because I understand they are elites and you are not among the elites, but you can bring sugar daddy money and change things
No,
around.
no,
But for you to have
PSL
come,
rules changed. No, to be fair to them, PSL rules changed
yes, sir,
almost literally because of them.
because of them.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
for me, for them to have brought Eddie Howe, it was a bit kind of low key. They came. If they had come and they made some great
No. It
noise,
seems
they
that
bring
way,
somebody
but
like
it wasn't though.
Mourinho. They
No,
start
No,
buying
no, no, no,
players.
no, no, no,
No,
not really,
Babajide, it
DJ,
seems
because
that way, but you
if
forgot how much money they spent though on
yes,
wait
Isaac.
on Bruno Guimaraes. Is dude, they spent 60 million on Isak. Nobody was willing to spend 60 million on Isak
Yeah,
after the injury season he had.
70 million
Gordon,
actually.
70, sorry, euros and the pounds they confuse me because I'm not rich
Mm-hmm.
like Coco that has not sent my most Babajide. So think about the money they spent. Gordon, Isak, Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali.
Yes,
Milan were shocked. I'm a Milan fan. Guys know it. Milan were shocked at the money they dropped for Tonali immediately. They were like,
Fortunately, yeah.
after they just won the league, Milan had won the league. They said, bro,
And,
this thing is
and if you remember, Chelsea had the same format of Sugar Daddy that kind of basically turned the
But you know what
league.
Chelsea did differently? See, they are buying the Tonalis, the Gordons. Chelsea came and just were targeting rock stars everywhere.
Yeah,
Coach
initially.
rock star,
no,
player
no, no,
rock
no,
stars
no,
everywhere.
no,
Yeah.
So they
but
changed the
yeah,
outlook.
no, but the problem was this: in Chelsea's time, early enough, the FA was
PSL
not
no
looking at
day.
it to be PSR no day.
Yes,
I
now.
don't,
If you remember how much
yeah,
spelt each other first, it's
I
just a 2
understand
minute.
PSI, but are you saying that all the money they spent on Gordon, all those guys, they won't get some very rock star players around? They would have.
No, they couldn't because
you
if you
can't
remember in Chelsea's time,
stay at the end
Abramovich
now.
gave them 0% loan. Have you ever given anybody 0% loan before? If they remove the money that Chelsea is still owing Abramovich now, they will not be worth anything. He
True,
gave
true,
Ona Sugar Daddy 0% loan.
true, true.
Bro, I need somebody to give me a 0% loan,
My
please.
brother, I need a 0% loan. No.
I need a 0%. No, but it's an interesting one with Newcastle because
Yeah,
the way it came about, and let's not forget about the human side of these things, right? Not everybody wants to live anywhere. Like when Giroud was living in Arsenal and he had his
Yeah.
pick of clubs, he was like, I want to stay in London.
or check,
Yeah, true.
Peter
Simple,
check,
bro.
Yeah.
Peter
My
check.
children are growing up here.
Yeah,
That private school she
yeah.
goes to, the daughter has told me, Daddy, if I leave this school, oh my God, I'm never gonna forgive you. Bros got to check himself,
Yeah,
That's
because
even
true. That's
yeah,
true.
if you remember when Peter Arsenal believing for Peter Check, Mourinho
yeah.
didn't want to sell him.
Moreno didn't want to send him to Arsenal, but he was like, bro, I want to stay in London. And Abramovich was like, he has been a loyal
Yeah,
servant to
He
yeah,
us.
has
yeah,
been
exactly.
loyal. Let's
Yeah,
let
let
him
Exactly.
him
go.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
him
You know.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Because
so
that's
Then
why some Liverpool fans till today hate Michael Owen because when he was leaving Newcastle, he wanted to be closer to Chester. He's like where his family are and where his horses are and everything. And
He
that's why
went
he
to
went to Man
United.
United, then went to Stoke. He just wanted to be in that area, Sha. And then Liverpool fans were like, of all the clubs you could choose to go to,
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you so much. So I know
Yeah.
we've heard your parting comments, Coco. Let's just quickly hear from my chicken, then we round up.
Yeah, so what we're saying about the week. So my own is that, I mean, people say you shouldn't really look at the table till game week 10. It's game week 7. I was looking at the table and I was thinking that the fixtures we should really look at the table after are the just before the November international break, because there's still a lot to happen. This was a like what Premier League clubs spent 3 billion on transfers this summer. A lot has happened. A lot needs to be gelled. We're not even sure a lot of teams' first starting lineup if everybody's fit. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to, and I'm excited this season, mostly because I've had this conversation privately with people. Whatever. I've been falling a lot out of love with football over the past couple of years. This year is reviving it a bit because I think there's too much football now. There's too much. Like every 5 seconds, and a lot of it comes from the fact that social media, we're in groups. Even when the games are not happening, we're talking about football because, like, I'll give you an example. You guys might relate or not. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and like, it baffles me how any like Man United fan can want City or Liverpool to win the league over Arsenal. Then I realize it's because of modern day social media and everything, right? Like, for example, now,
Yeah.
15 years ago, this would not be happening. This live stream would not be happening. I would not be on a live stream with 3 Arsenal fans. I would be in the pub with my Man U fans, maybe a Man City or local fan. We will go to banter, yeah. So because of the beef of social media, a lot of United fans now see Arsenal as more of their rival. But I'm old school,
And
or as some people say, I'm just old, in the sense of it. I can never ever want Liverpool or Man City to win a title over anybody
over
except each
Arsenal.
other. Except each other. Do you understand? Like if now Liverpool Man City they fight, I do now gauge. Okay, Liverpool won't overtake us to 21. Okay, make Man City win. If not before the 21, I'll be like, Ali, but the new season is becoming more interesting. I'm I'm educating myself more on different nuances and all that, and improving my own knowledge because me, I like to reach it, and going back and all that, and then the little spurts of growth I'm seeing in my team. Let me talk about my team now personally, in Man United. I like it because I like the manager I have. I like his personality. I like his idea and what he's trying to do. The late great sports journalist in England, Patrick Barclay, said something very important. I read it in like 2011 and it has stayed with me forever. It's like, your team does not owe you success. It owes you entertainment. It owes you trying hard, but they cannot guarantee a win. So why do you feel you are owed a win? And he said that for obviously the people that go to watch, people that pay every day to go and watch the game and all that. I'm sorry, you're Arsenal fans. Arsenal do not owe you winning every game. Nobody wins every game. The best you can hope for is that you go to a match, you watch a match, they played their best, they did their best, but factors can happen out of their control. The referee might be on something that day and give them wrong calls. They will now lose 2-1. You now insult the players, the manager, the cooking staff, and all
Yeah.
that. So I'm trying to return to that where I'm watching it for the entertainment and enjoyment it is. The day the result no good, where I want to make it go, I go vex and everything, but they don't owe me. If you understand what I mean.
Sorry, there will
Nothing
be
can
signs
process.
when there's failure all around you. There will be signs.
No, it's not about failure all around you. No,
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I had
no,
to
it's
put that in. I
interesting
just had to
because
put that in. I agree with you. Man.
I had to go back to my I saved that tweet.
Mm,
He said that thing in 2011, right? And I
yeah.
thought about it honestly because when I have conversations, I've left 90% of my Man United groups. The ones I'm still in, I've put on mute because I realized that we look at this thing very differently. You understand? We look at it very differently. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sound snobbish. Maybe because I've been a fan who has had a season ticket. We drove from Nottingham every other weekend to Manchester to sit down, to sing my heart out, support the team. That was the year of when 08 or 9, when fans were singing, sign him up for Tevez. Fergie, sign him up. We now didn't eventually sign him and all that. People were upset, but you have to trust that the manager knows what's best for the club. His literal livelihood. You are paying this as entertainment. It's like us now where they pay to wear designer. Meanwhile, designers they pay some people to
To
advertise.
wear them.
Do you understand? Do you understand? This guy's livelihood is from this team doing well. And so this year I'm being very stoic about it. I'm enjoying the team. When they're upset, when they lose, I'm upset. I believe the manager is trying his best, the players are trying their best. And yeah, so my final thought is just enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Like you guys were
Yeah.
trusting the process a while ago. Now
Yeah.
you're very happy. Coming second. Try and win something, please. For your own sake.
You know, that's why we want to win something, you know, because
Please.
yeah, the entertainment and everything factor, but if entertainment is going to be sacrificed for the big win,
Sacrifice it
which
on a platter of gold.
it
Because
sacrifice the damn thing, yeah. So
Crystal Palace won their first trophy in how many years? I posted that in a group that day where that fan was saying that how they're not gonna get above their station. Yeah, they've won a trophy now and everything.
they
But
won a
he's been a
trophy.
first fan for 30 something years. He cannot expect trophy every year because they've won one now.
The one that killed me was I watching one documentary and a Derby County fan said, "This game that I'm going to watch, we are going to lose, but I love my Rams anyway."
Bam, I'm going there to watch.
Yeah.
But we international fans, that's why sometimes they yab us on all these podcasts. Now we wear the ordinary DSTV now with the
Now we are the Vex fans. So people they spend thousands of dollars or pounds.
Because you just give yourself a headache. I remember that time I would drive the 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Nottingham, go sit in my seat. I paid for something pounds. And yes, it was during a good time, but I have to enjoy the game. If I'm frustrated by everything that happens, then what was the point? It's like watching him. It's like paying money to go to cinema to a movie that you know you don't like. You will get headache.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, guys, this has been so awesome.
Thanks for having us. It's been very long. I hope our fans
Yes,
are
sir.
still watching us.
just a handful. Well, thank you so much. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next stream.